This and football together like stars and stripes. Listen, football is bigger in the Lone Star State. The history, the legends, the titles. In 2021, a group of Roadrunners ripped off 11 straight wins, capturing the spotlight and put San Antonio on the college football map.
It's low, he picks it up, he's going to throw a pass into the end zone. Caught! Goodness, catches it to the 50, to the 40. Sincere McCormick's going to take it to the house. Ball game over. That's a Roadrunner winner.
7-win season, a division title. What's left? How about a championship showdown with Conference USA's hottest team? And deep in the heart, Western Kentucky steps into the Alamo Dome with an electric offense. The boys from Bowling Green are on a 7-win run, and they've got the best quarterback you've never heard of, Bailey Zappi. Their third conference title is on their fingertips.
Zappi wide open. It is Stearns racing past the secondary.
Zappi throwing deep ball. Davis. Touchdown, Western Kentucky.
Teams, one dream. Western Kentucky. TSA. Conference USA Championship. Into the Alamo Dome we come. And here are the Hilltoppers. East Division champs. Western Kentucky has won 7 straight to get here. CBS Sports Network presents the Ryan Conference USA Football Championship. Western Kentucky, UTSA. Hi everybody, I'm Rich Waltz along with Aaron Taylor. Jenny Dell joins us shortly. This is a great weekend in college football and a great crowd behind us. This is championship weekend, and you've been here. 2-time All-American at Notre Dame, Super Bowl champ, and now a college football Hall of Famer. You've been here.
I have been here, and there's nothing like it, Rich. Tonight is about opportunity. It's an opportunity for one of these teams to create a lifetime of memories. For the loser, however, this will be a night they'll want to forget. 130 teams started this season with this very goal, to win their conference championship. Well, UTSA and Western Kentucky have that chance tonight, and I can't wait.
Obviously, this is the biggest game of the year in Conference USA. The best game of the year in Conference USA. These two teams, this is a rematch.
And so rare to be able to have a chance at redemption. Bailey Zappi throwing the interception late in the previous game. An instant classic. I expect both of these teams, Rich, to be at their absolute best here tonight. The fireworks are about to start.
And here they are, the darlings of college football and the rage of San Antonio. UTSA, the Roadrunners at 11-1, 7-1 in Conference USA. How did they get here? Well, they were 11-0 and they got to 22 in the college football poll, stubbed their toes last week against North Texas. And they bring an offense that, yeah, they're balanced, but man, are they explosive.
Yes, they are, man. That first game was an instant classic, fireworks galore, and it started for UTSA on the ground with their powerful back, Sincere McCormick. He's a guy that can jump cut, has great vision and patience, but can also take it to the house. But really the story was the best game of the career of Frank Harris. 6 touchdowns he threw. The lefty was on point. He got everybody involved, including wide receiver DeCorian Clark, who had 7 catches, Rich, for 160 yards. Here's one of his 3 touchdowns. It was a thing of beauty.
If you haven't seen Western Kentucky this year, you are in for a real treat. But nobody expected them to get here because they were 1-4 after they lost that game against UTSA. Look at where they are now. They are 8-4, 7 straight wins. And if you haven't seen Bailey Zappi, you are missing something.
Bailey Zappi, if you like quarterback play, will make you happy. Sorry to be corny and cheesy there, but this dude is the best quarterback that we've seen so far this season. He's the FBS leader in passing yards, yards per game, and touchdowns. The guy distributes the football. The coaches have given him the keys to the Ferrari, It's so important that he drives that car safely tonight, but he plays well with others, distributes the football. It's going to be a handful.
Here's how crazy this game was. Over 1,200 yards of total offense. There were only 5 punts in this game and 18 kickoffs. And here they are playing for the Conference USA Championship. Tyson Helton in his 3rd year, he told his team after that loss, if we play our cards right, we'll see these guys again. 7 wins later, they see these guys again, and these guys are really good. And Jeff Traylor is their coach, high school coaching legend in all the state of Texas, and he's taken this program, obviously, to big heights. Down below on the field with a big crowd is Jenny Dell. How'd they get here, Jenny?
Yeah, the local community is stepping up big time here in San Antonio. So even though UTSA is hosting this matchup, and typically student tickets are free during the regular season, in the championship it's completely different. Conference rules makes the players and the fans pay for tickets, so students need to buy them. And the community wasn't having that, so they set up an account where local businesses, alumni, and fans, they could donate to pack this dome. Well, over $100,000 was raised. Every student in here attending this game for free. The extra money going towards creating a first-class bowl experience for the Roadrunners. And guys, Coach Traylor told me the community has rallied around this team in unexpected ways. He called it a Cinderella story.
For sure, Jenny. And there's still a big crowd outside. There was a huge tailgate scene tonight outside the Alamo Dome. Crowd still arriving. Aaron Taylor, the atmosphere in here is going to be exceptionally loud.
It was rocking, and Bill Clark, the head coach of UAB, when they played here a couple weeks ago with that game that went down to the wire, said that is the loudest indoor environment I've ever been a part of. Crowd noise certainly a factor here for Western Kentucky on the road. UTSA has to use that to their advantage.
Beanie Bishop from his goal line for Western Kentucky. And Bishop blasted at the 20, down to the 22-yard line. The legend of Bailey Zappi grows every week. I mean, just look at these numbers. These are not misprints.
No, they're not, Rich. This young man is so talented. What he does, the coach is telling us he's a student of the game, so I just let him go to work. He feeds off of that. He loves that he's got total control of this offense, and this is his moment to shine.
Zappi on first down, quick throw, and it's incomplete. And the crowd is fired up already. The offense for Western Kentucky, they like to go fast. They have a terrific offensive line who's been together all year.
Yeah, this old line has been huge for this team all season long. 4,500 combined starts this season, and they'll need to be at their best today on the road with crowd noise versus a front seven that has 34 sacks so far.
Zappi throws quick hitters and slants and bubble screens and great deep balls. Jareth Stearns, his best receiver, in motion. And Zappi will roll his way. Fires it, it's dropped. Joey Beljan, the tight end. The defense, a lot of pressure on the secondary.
Yeah, D'Angelo Malone, keep your eye on him when he's on the field for Western Kentucky. But Corey Mayfield, the DB, is the best cover DB for UTSA. He and the rest of the secondary are going to need to step up and prevent the big pass plays, Rich, that plagued them last time they played the Hilltoppers.
Crowd is on their feet right now. Blitz comes. Zappi steps up, fires one, and it's caught there. That's Stearns. In a crowd, he's right on the stick. And I think he's got the first down. He does.
Great job of protection. Zappi steps up. Look at the location of that football against tight man coverage.
And look at the tempo, and a timeout already by UTSA.
Timeout. UTSA. That is their first. It'll be 30 seconds.
Woo!
chance for maybe all of us to catch our breath. We saw Western Kentucky, Rich, come out and be a little disjointed. We saw an errant pass right out of the gate by Bailey Zappi. Joey Beljan dropped a ball that hit him in the hands, but they converted that big third down. Slow starts have been a problem for the Hilltoppers this season.
And the defense has to adjust to this tempo, which is extremely rapid. Stearns over the middle. This guy has caught 128 balls this year. That's amazing.
It's incredible. But he's also coming off his season-low 4 receptions for just 28 yards last week. This young man is a tremendous football player. Didn't play as well as maybe he's used to against Marshall, but he's the go-to guy. Had 22 targets in their game on October 9th.
So a first down, and that quieted the crowd down at least for a moment. But here they come again.
Like that matchup up top.
Zappi bounces it outside and then dives for the 40. It's a gain of 7. It'll bring up a second down and about 3.
They brought some outside pressure off the edge, but nobody had contained. Zappi made the right read and made him pay.
Little pump fake and go. Man open. Tinsley with a catch. Tinsley to the 10. Tinsley to the end zone. Just like that, Western Kentucky is on the board.
Their double stack, bubble slant concepts that they use, they run an extension off this as a go route. The defense plays, their eyes go to the bubble screen, and they get caught sleeping, and Western Kentucky takes a shot over the top. It's one of the wrinkles that this offense, led by Zach Kitley, the offensive coordinator, does so well.
61 yards on the throw. How do you take a crowd out of the game? You walk into center stage and you throw a dart. Bailey Zappi, Mitchell Tinsley, and an early touchdown for Western Kentucky. That didn't take long, less than a minute, 7-0 Western Kentucky. Keys to the game brought to you by Ryan.
Well, for Western Kentucky, they have to be chunk-tastic, just like they were there. That's the best way to quiet this crowd. And defensively, they need to be insincere with their run defense. UTSA would like to have some balance. Western Kentucky can't let them do that. And for UTSA offensively, start fast, sustain drives, and score touchdowns. Tonight, their best defense may be a good offense. And then finally, defensively, UTSA needs to steal some possessions. Rich, as good as Bailey Zappi's been, he will put the ball in jeopardy at times, especially downfield, and the Roadrunners have to find a way to create some opportunities off of it.
Corey Munson with a strong kick through the end zone. And we turn our attention to Frank Harris and UTSA.
Well, boy, oh boy, that didn't take long for Western Kentucky to score. And in the game that they played on October 9th, Frank Harris threw a dime on the 3rd play of the game and scored. He is the key tonight, both with his legs and with his arms. He got banged up. He didn't finish their game last week against North Texas. They've got to keep him healthy. He does a masterful job of moving the sticks, but that offensive line has to help.
First touch from the 25. Harris to the sideline. Caught Zachary Franklin. And Franklin has got 6 yards.
Well, keep your eye tonight on right tackle Mason Brooks. He and this offensive line have been a huge for this season, or this team all season long. But Spencer Buford, the left tackle's the guy that brings the pop.
On the carry, Sincere McCormick, his first touch. He is a complete running back.
He really is, Rich. I love his vision and the way that he jump cuts. He sees the hole and hits it. No wasted motion.
He can also pop a big run. They will throw to him as well. Harris, pump fake, waited for the window, and right on the money.
And that's great, Rich. Accuracy isn't just knowing where to throw, it's knowing when to throw. That pump fake opens the window. The defensive line jumped, but that's the sort of execution you need at quarterback. Harris looking very good here early.
Josh Cephas with the catch, 66 catches on the season. And McCormick straight ahead. He's not tall, but a big body. Now, defensively, there's playmakers on this side of the ball.
Yeah, I mentioned the left tackle, Spencer Burford. He's going to have to block D'Angelo Malone for Western Kentucky. Relentless motor knocked Grant Wells out of the Marshall game. They got to make sure 10 gets blocked.
Roadrunners play with tempo. I mean, they wouldn't be the Roadrunners, would they? Harris darts away, out of the pocket, races to the sideline, and turns up and out of bounds and inside the 25-yard line. Jaden Hunter caught him. Huge chunk of yardage.
This is what the lefty brings you. Harris is so mobile. The kid grew up here in San Antonio. You have to think that this game means a lot, but that's the sort of playmaking ability that's hard to defend.
They mark it inside the 24. Drop snap, and McCormick is swallowed up. He's going to lose a yard. Gang tackled there. A.J. Brathwaite, the first to get him.
Been impressed with this front seven of Western Kentucky, led by their defensive coordinator, Maurice Crum, the great linebacker at Notre Dame. He's a young defensive coordinator. He talked about how he put too much on this unit early on in the season. They simplified things, have been playing very much better as a result.
Blitz comes. Harris steps through it and busts through to the 10, to the end zone. Touchdown, Roadrunners.
Well, you're going to see they're going to bring some pressure here, and there's no lane integrity. That allows Harris to get up inside and be able to gash him. Because of the defense, it's man coverage. There's nobody there that's assigned to the quarterback. Harris sees it, triggers, and scores immediately.
7 plays, 75 yards, 2:15. We put a little over 3 minutes, and both teams have gone length of the field. Everybody take a deep breath. AT, this is fun. 7-7 already.
Harris takes the snap. It's low. He picks it up. He's going to throw a pass into the end zone. Caught! Goodness catches it. Oscar Cardis with the catch. Touchdown, UTSA.
That play came with 3 seconds left against UAB, and the program history is not long. It started in 2011. Larry Coker, the former Miami coach, was the first coach here. Moved to FBS in 2012. First 10 years, yeah, a little over 5 wins per season. This year, in the top 25 almost the entire year. 11-0 start. That win over UAB clinched the division title. Speedy Bishop bounces outside and runs out of bounds. And we check in with Jenny Dell. Hi, Jenny.
Hey guys, I know we've been doing this for a long time, but I've got to say that this is actually one of the loudest environments that I have ever been a part of on a football field. I know that they're expecting around 40,000 fans waiting for the final count there, but it is so loud down in here, you can't even hear what you're thinking. So I'm expecting this game to definitely be interesting when it comes to these guys talking to each other down on the field.
Yeah, Jenny, that's a great point, and crowd noise is the best friend of a defensive line. Great opportunity for the Roadrunners to get after Zappi.
Zappi hands it off. Noah Whittingham. And he gets about 2 yards. Both teams throw the ball a lot, but both coaches told us this week, we want to establish the run game. That is Zach Kitley, the wonder kid, the 30-year-old offensive coordinator who was with Houston Baptist. Tyson Helton called him, asked if he was interested in coming. He came, and guess who followed? Bailey Zappi and 3 of his receivers. Three-man rush, lots of time. Zappi deep again. Tinsley again makes the catch inside the 20. Mitchell Tinsley.
Mitchell Tinsley's lined up inside on the three-man bunch formation right there. The safety was late getting over. Antonio Parks has to get over the top and help there.
Zappi again, quick throw, overthrows Tinsley, and it's incomplete. Second down and 10.
Well, we started the game, Rich, talking about big plays really being the defining factor in the first game. It showed up already here for both offenses.
Western Kentucky had 10 chunk plays, which are 20 yards or more in that matchup.
Now, this is something you'll see the defense will sub itself out. If the offense subs, the defense can sub, and they take their time to allow their teammates to be able to catch their breath.
On second down, Zappi throws. That's Whittingham with the catch, and he dives across the 15. Well short of the first down. It's going to be third down and about 5.
I thought coming into this game that the red area was going to be important. That's anything inside the 20, Rich. The difference in a ball game that this is explosive between 7 points and 3 points can add up pretty quickly. This is an important down here for Western Kentucky.
Blitz comes, and Zappi just grounded it. He didn't like the looks of what was
foul for intentional grounding. There was a receiver in the area.
And Tinsley was the intended receiver.
Excellent job by UTSA of reading this, and a great decision by Zappi to not put the ball in jeopardy and kick the field goal.
The other thing he may have seen, he had an offensive lineman that was 10 yards downfield. That may be one of the reasons he grounded the football.
As long as that ball's thrown behind the line of scrimmage, you can get downfield. He just didn't want a turnover.
Narveson, field goal attempt. Up and good. Whew. Wasn't a touchdown, but it's more points. 5 minutes in. Conference USA Championship game in Western Kentucky. UTSA putting on a show.
Have a one conference loss, that doesn't keep you out of the hunt by any means, and our football team knows that, and they'll rebound, and hopefully we'll hit some good days ahead of us here soon, some good wins ahead of us.
And it ain't over. We got one more.
Better days indeed. Tyson Helton and the Hilltoppers won 7 straight. He is the son of a coach, Kim Helton, longtime head coach in college football, of course, Houston. And his brother Clay spent a long time at USC as well. The Dr. Pepper tuition giveaway is back in 2021 and helping deserving students achieve their college dreams. You can learn more at drpepper.com. Seems like all we've done is talk offense here for the first 5 minutes. If you are a defensive coordinator for either one of these teams, Aaron Taylor, I mean, I know you got a game plan, but right now you may want to rethink some of that.
Yeah, you got to get everybody settled down. You knew coming into this game that both of these offenses were explosive. As this first quarter goes on, things will start to settle in.
Little toss there to DeCorian Clark, and Clark is across the 35. Spills over the 40, out to the 41. That's a 16-yard gain.
And plays like this really help your run game because it takes advantage of the quick response and trigger by the defense. That's going to hold them in their lanes a little bit and may give them a chance to open up the run game and get their backs going.
It's a great point. It goes as a pass because it's forward, but it's essentially a run. Harris throws an inside shot to Zachary Franklin. He's out to the 48, and that's another 7 yards.
A really nice block that time by Joshua Cephas, number 2. Barry Lunney, the offensive coordinator, said you can't play in this offense if you're not going to block as a wide receiver. And look at the offensive lineman getting downfield. Maka with a great finish there.
Frank Harris said that for him, his best throw is a deep ball. Sincere McCormick, and McCormick gets to the 48. His offensive coordinator said, I like the short game. That gets him in rhythm, and that helps the deep ball.
It builds confidence, Rich, for a quarterback. If you can get those high percentage completions, you get yourself into a rhythm. But this is a perfect point in the field, especially on first down, to possibly take a shot.
McCormick. You talked about Maurice Crum, the defensive coordinator for Western Kentucky. Last week at Marshall, they played really well. They had a pick six, 4 sacks, gave up just 325 yards of offense.
And they do some different things. You'll see the defensive ends that stand up, and I asked him why he does that, and he said, so my guys can see. They still have to play the run and rush the passer, but when they're up, they get to see more of the offense.
McCormick, the man in motion, and he's got a nice lane down to the 31-yard line. That's a gain of 13 yards.
Really nice job on the edge by Oscar Cardenas, the tight end, number 84. He doesn't hold, but he just kind of body presents him around so that McCormick can get to the outside edge, and it's clear right away that UTSA is attacking the Hilltoppers on the perimeter, and thus far the Hilltoppers don't have an answer.
Brendan Brady in the backfield replaces McCormick. First and 10. Time for Harris. Running out of it, flips it over the bench. Second down 10.
Missed opportunity here for Frank Harris. He had
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the pocket, and the ball went beyond the neutral zone.
Keep rolling it, guys. Now he can roll to his left there. There was a good job by the defensive end not letting him do that, but if Harris had been able to keep his eyes back to that left side, they might have been able to pick up a completion to Leroy Watson, who was pretty wide open.
10-7, Western Kentucky on top. UTSA, second possession on the move. This is Brady, senior, Texas native. This roster, as you would expect, is just absolutely loaded with Texas football talent.
It's unbelievable. The Texas high school pipeline that feeds these universities and universities all over the country is exactly what Jeff Traylor has done to take advantage of. Told us that he had 4,000 or 5,000 phone numbers of Texas high school coaches in his phone. As we take a look at the heart of the defense for Western Kentucky, Jeremy Darvin.
Darvin on his way to the sideline. Right now, 7 plays, almost 50 yards on this drive for Frank Harris and the Roadrunners. Now, Jeff Traylor has coached in games with a similar feel. He's won state championships in the state of Texas. He was a legend at Gilmer High School, spent 15 years there, won 3 4A titles. So successful, they named the stadium there after him when he left.
Texas high school legend. And you got to keep in mind, UTSA had never won more than 8 games in any season prior to this one. So he's continued that success that he had on the high school level here, and UTSA has a chance to win a championship as a result.
They're down 5. Trying to get down to the 21-yard line. McCormick, he's close. Right on the stick. Sideline says he has it. Officials.
Thought he was a little bit short. Great job of triggering that time by the safety for Western Kentucky, A.J. Brathwaite.
He's short. It's 4th and less than a yard. And they quickly line up to go for it. Western Kentucky calls a timeout.
Timeout, WKU. That is their first. It'll be 30 seconds.
Again, doing a great job of circling the defense, and McCormick tries to get upfield. It's Jaden Hunter and the safety, A.J. Brathwaite Jr. right there. That last hit, I think that's going to keep him a little bit short. I love Sincere McCormick. This kid was the Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year, and he is such a weapon for this offense.
He's 5'9", 205. He can get you the tough yards. He can bust loose for a 50-yard run. And you look at what he's done. Now, you and I have seen all 3 of these running backs
certainly have
this year. We saw Iowa State. We saw BYU, and now we get a look at Sincere McCormick, and they throw the ball to him as well.
Coming into this game, he had 19 receptions, made some big catches in the game that they played on October 9th in round 1 of tonight's matchup. He's just the type of player that you have to find a way to get involved, and they've certainly done that. And unfortunately, the heart of the defense, the big defensive tackle, Jeremy Darvin, going into the locker room, have to have Jenny make sure she keeps an eye on that.
4th down, less than a yard. McCormick's hit, and he gets forward and gets the 1st down, and that's the strength he has.
Great job by Demetrius Kane, 28 right there, but the pile gets pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. Excuse me, that was Matthew Flint, but that's the power of McCormick that moves the sticks.
Drive continues from the 20. Harris over the middle. And Zachary Franklin, I'm not sure if he lost sight of the ball.
Yeah, something seemed to be a little bit off there. That 4th down situation we saw, Jeff Traylor told us coming into the game, he said, you may not see my punter tonight if my defense is struggling. That's certainly been the case. That's an easy decision with the way this game is going on this point of the field, but we've also seen him all season long be much more risky when he's in negative territory being backed up.
He went for it on his own 43 and his own 34 in the first matchup. Harris's throw, McCormick makes a nice spinning catch to the 15. And Sincere is out of bounds around the 12, short of the 1st down.
Watch the blocking out here in the perimeter. This is unbelievable. The ball's not thrown really well, so McCormick has to go backwards with it. But just a great job there by DeCorian Clark on the perimeter, and there were some other great blocks there as well. These guys take it seriously, and that's a big reason why they're having success here.
Tyson Helton all the way down to that line of scrimmage to speak to an official. 3rd down 2. He may throw it. Harris out of bounds. Has the 1st down. Josh Cephas to Frank Harris.
I love it. Things are getting chippy. Now remember, Harris caught a 23-yard touchdown in the first version of this game on October 9th. And you see the little grab there by Brathwaite. These guys are chippy. You'd expect that in a championship game, but you have to play smart.
McCormick in the backfield. Tough going up the middle. And remember, that middle no longer has Jeremy Darvin in it. Western Kentucky trying to slow down UTSA.
Really nice job by that front 7 of bucking themselves up. UTSA has been a revolving door up front with the offensive linemen. So many different guys. They made it 7 plays into week 1 before they had their first starter at left tackle go down. 10 plays later, their center goes down, but somehow they played well enough to get here.
McCormick, touchdown.
Just great push up front and the power of McCormick. You see the way that he knew where the goal line was, Rich. He was able to get up underneath the defense. A great job of preventing penetration up front. And McCormick scores his first touchdown against Western Kentucky this season.
Extra point up and good. 14 plays, 75 yards.
It started with the 4th down play and the power of McCormick. That extended the drive. They went with a quarterback pass, but McCormick finishes it off to take the lead.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Ryan, a leader in global tax services and software solutions. By Ram Trucks, J.D. Power's #1 brand in new vehicle quality. And by Marco's, pizza lovers get it.
San Antonio with the Alamo, the Riverwalk. They've got orange and blue on the buildings here. It's the 7th largest city in the country, and they've never had a hometown college football team until 11 years ago when Larry Coker started this program.
And it's been amazing, the response. I got to tell you, we talked about at the top of the show, coming into this game, you could feel the energy outside.
Tomorrow morning, starting at 9 Eastern, it's double the Serie A gameplay. CBS Sports Network heads across the pond. A face-off between Milan and Salernitana, followed by Roma taking on Inter Milan at noon. Catch all the action right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Bailey Zappi now is the career leader for a single season, passing Brandon Doty. Brandon Doughty with his 2 years. Had a terrific run. 2015-2016, Western Kentucky won a title. Malachi Corley with a catch, and he's got 10 yards. Maybe a little short of the first down. Half a yard short. Quick pitch. Jareth Stearns in the backfield, and he races out of bounds. Blink and you miss it. This is up tempo.
They move so quickly. Sometimes they snap the ball. There's only been 3 or 4 seconds off the play clock at 32, 31, 34, 35 sometimes. But this, when they make adjustments on their near sideline, the defense is allowed to change, as we're seeing UTSA do here, and that's the way they slow things down.
So not just personnel change, but they're trying to just take the air out of the ball.
No question. Completely legal and allowed.
Noah Whittingham, he's got a nice 8-yard gain. Whittingham, 5'10", 190, Fort Valley, Georgia.
You know what's really interesting, Zach Kitley, when Western needed to get their offense going, he went to the run game in the second quarter and second half last week, and it seems like he's doing it here.
Yeah, Dawood Davis with the catch. He can make all the throws. And people say, well, it's the system. But guess what? This system is in the NFL now, and guys like him are having success. I know he's not a big name, but he comes from a tree of the air raid from Texas Tech.
And there ain't a lot of leaves on that tree, as he reminded us, and everyone has their own little adjustments off of it, but he's a beautifully creative play caller.
Blitz comes. Zappi throws. Tinsley again. He's hit him twice on deep throws, one for a touchdown, another for a big chunk of yardage.
Yeah, Tariq Wooden was in good job being in phase. You would want the receiver, Tinsley, to stack him a little bit. Great job by Zappi of throwing the football in a position that allows him to track to get it. There's just a little too much air underneath it. It's those deep shots and those outside lanes that Western Kentucky has hurt people all season long with.
Tariq Woolen matched up against Tinsley.
Expecting blitz, so they have the back realigned.
Stearns in motion. Zappi goes, got a man. Corley's there, and he's bobbled it and dropped it.
Rich, we talked about drops in the first game back in October. 7 legit drops by this Western Kentucky team. We saw Jareth Stearns drop a 4th and 6, and here, Malachi Corley in his hands drops a touchdown. Those are plays that lose you championships, not win them for you.
Third and 10, blitz comes, Zappi escapes, sets, fires, incomplete. And a whistle. They're going to blow the play dead. You couldn't hear the whistle.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 18, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
A drop by Corley, Dawood Davis with the false start. The crowd noise having an effect. You see right here off the outside edge, Clarence
Please
Hicks.
reset the game clock to 3 minutes and 8 seconds.
Was unabated, and that's why the officials blew the whistle.
So the Hilltoppers get another shot at it, third down.
That actually saved them, especially if they can convert here.
Off the edge, blitz coming. Zappe tying, little dump off. That's Stearns racing for the sideline. And he's close, and I think he's got the first down at the 32-yard line.
And that's what the air raid does. It's just the underneath mesh routes, those shallow crosses, double shallow crosses inside. It basically becomes a unique version of a pick route, but that's how what he does when he hits the ball in his hands. They threw a 1-yard pass, and Stearns did the rest.
So that procedure penalty works out for them. Jareth Stearns, 17 yards on the catch. His brother Josh Stearns, the younger brother, is in the game now, number 9. And Whittingham hit at the 27. That's going to be a gain of about 6.
These safeties are triggering so quickly. That time at Sam linebacker Dadrian Taylor is 4th on the team in tackles, had a big hit on the sideline versus Stearns in the first Western Kentucky game where he ejected him down by the goal line. But it's that aggression from that second level that's also allowing these receivers to get behind him.
Zappe, another short throw. This one is caught short of the first down. And that's Josh Stearns, the freshman. They're both from Waxahachie, Texas. And of course, both he and his older brother Jareth transferred from Houston Baptist.
Oh, the double stacks. Take a look at this formation. This is where they do the bubble slants and have a lot of variations off of them.
And they run it. And Whittingham has got the first down to the 20. Excuse me, Kyle Robichaux with the carry.
Good correction there, buddy. It's really good to see Western being able to utilize the run game effectively.
Zappe's throw. Oh, diving catch. Made at the 1. Ben Ratzliff.
Stack position again, and this is where the speed and tempo comes up. You're UTSA, you got to get yourself set and play tough here.
Zappe is going to lose yardage.
We saw Zappe get free when they blitzed off the outside edge. I like the play call, but this time UTSA was ready.
That's a beautiful throw.
Just plucked it out of the air. Great job by Ratzliff. Drops have been a big problem for this team all season long. As much success as they've had, they need a little bit more of what 22 just showed.
It's amazing because they've completed an amazing amount of passes. Ball is loose.
Wow. We've seen both centers have errant snaps so far in this game. This isn't a crowd noise thing. And that's just a simple slide protection to the left, but Bailey Zappe was very lucky to get his hands on that ball and cover it up.
3rd and goal, final seconds, first quarter.
Rich, they were on the 1-yard line.
Wow. There was 2 seconds left in the quarter, and UTSA takes a timeout.
That's it.
Or did they, is it end of quarter? The signal was a UTSA timeout.
I agree with you. I saw it. Here's the announcement.
Timeout, UTSA. That is their second. Please reset the game clock to 3 seconds.
Wow, that's a mistake potentially to take that timeout there. But you got to understand, as quickly as Western Kentucky gets to the ball, maybe he was just preemptively trying to make sure he didn't get himself beat, because we just saw them convert a 3rd and 15, the series of downs before. But you have to know the situation, and with 3 seconds there, you would have loved the end of quarter to come, but apparently Traylor didn't want to take the chance.
There's a lot of options here on 3rd down and goal from the 16 for Western Kentucky.
Well, we saw them run some shallow crosses. You've got fades here. You've got screens. The field condenses here, so UTSA can do a better job of keeping the receivers in front of them. But you've got 4 strong to the short side of the field. I'd keep my eye there, or one-on-one down here at the bottom.
Zappe lobs it, corner, Tinsley. No flag, no catch. And no more time left in the first quarter. And an unhappy Tyson Helton right now on the Western Kentucky sideline. What a start we've had here in San Antonio. End of the first quarter, you're watching the Ryan Conference USA Football Championship. (14-10), one quarter in the book. The Conference USA Championship, and Western Kentucky has had some issues.
They certainly have. We saw Beljan, the tight end, drop what would have been a first down, and then number 11, Corley, with a drop of a touchdown. Then the bad snap that had this team that started on the 1-yard line now has them on 4th down 3 plays later trying to make a field goal.
Braden Narveson really accurate. He's hit 34 of his last 38. He has a couple of 53-yarders in his career. This from 33 and straight on. He is a good kicker. Defenses have yet to make a stop, and we step aside for 30 seconds. It's a 1-point game.
It's the most.
Jeff Traylor and the Roadrunners trying to get to 12-1 and a 1-point lead.
Look at that.
That's
man.
crazy. One quarter. No punts. Every drive has yielded points. Now we saw on that throw to Harris in that one drive. Now they've done that before here.
Yeah, this was the October 9th game. This was a 23-yard touchdown that Frank Harris scored. We've seen him be dangerous with his legs. They go back to that play. This time, Western Kentucky defends it a little bit better. Brathwaite did a nice job of getting him out. They would go on to score there with Sincere McCormick punching it in, but just one of the many ways quarterback zero can hurt you.
47 yards rushing has come on just 2 carries. Of course, he has that catch. Fires it, and an incompletion. Zakari Franklin lost it.
And that's a drop by Franklin. And what you see there, a rollout to the left with the left-hand quarterback. This is just a simple comeback to the sidelines, and he's got to make that catch.
Jeff Traylor said our best defense in this game might just be our offense. And if we can have long drives that eat up clock, and that's exactly what they did their last time out. Keeps the ball out of the hands of Western Kentucky. Sincere McCormick to the 29.
And I agree with you, Rich, and that's why I think Western Kentucky on their last offensive series, they went back to the run game. As I mentioned before, that was really the technique that they used a week ago against Marshall to get them back in the game. The first 2 or 3 plays of the second half were all runs. That got them settled down and opened up their pass game that was lights out in the second half.
3rd down and 5. Harris, McCormick got the first down, stays on his feet, has more, out of bounds right around midfield.
Just a great job, good protection up front, and Harris getting the football out early. A poor tackle out there on the edge by Trey Shaw, and McCormick moves the sticks.
Into Hilltopper territory, the 49. Harris pulls it, fires it, sideline again. Franklin the catch, tiptoes out of bounds. The junior out of Cedar Hill, Texas.
Really seems like from a play calling standpoint, UTSA, even though they're using some tempo, it seems like they're trying to take some air out of the clock. They're using the run game, they're moving things, they're huddled up, but they're not necessarily going at a breakneck pace. To me, they want to stay on schedule, but they also want to keep the ball away from Western Kentucky.
There's a pump fake. Harris racing for the sideline. Receiver comes back, and it's incomplete.
Understand the decision by Harris to throw there, but I think him running it, trying to pick up 3 or 4 more yards and shortening this 3rd down might have been the better choice. But Rich, again, talking with this staff, this is 4 down territory. Obviously, UTSA would like to pick that up here, but because they're across the 50, because their defense hasn't been able to stop Western Kentucky, if they don't pick up the first down here, they should have 2 plays called to immediately get to the line of scrimmage and try to convert.
2 of 3 on 3rd down. McCormick's got this. The first down to the 36-yard line.
McCormick is such a smooth runner. His eyes. The most important thing for a running back are the eyes. The eyes carry the feet. That ability to jump cut there, just move the sticks. He's remarkable the way that he finds those hidden yards.
Harris has yet to take that deep shot. McCormick to catch. And he's corralled at the 30. Gain of 5. 2nd down and 5.
Immediate pressure off that left-hand side. Watch this move. His ability to evade right there. 2 defenders, keeps his eyes downfield. As mobile as he is, what I love about him is he keeps his eyes down the field. It ain't the prettiest of passes, but it sure was effective.
And Maurice Crum, defensive coordinator for Western Kentucky, told us, limit him from going to his left. That's not happening right now. Little flip, that could be a throw. Brendan Brady does. Is it caught?
Wow.
Yes! Franklin! Wow! Indeed.
I think that kind of makes up for that missed comeback and that drop. He's been masterful on these plays. Goes up and high points the football. That is tremendous defense there by Kincaid. And somehow Franklin's concentration with the one hand, his left only, secures it.
Ball was bouncing around when he rolled over, but it looked like a clean catch. 24 yards, and on the doorstep are the Roadrunners. Brady, touchdown.
Coming into this game, I wondered whether or not this offensive line could rise to the occasion and win their matchup with a much improved Western Kentucky defense. And boy, they certainly have here through these first 2 quarters.
Another long drive, 9 plays, 75 yards, and some fun along the way.
Certainly, there's been a lot of fun. How about this? The double pass and the high point by Zachary Franklin to set it up. And then Brendan Brady and that big offensive line does the rest. UTSA converts in the red zone again.
Alamo Dome, home of the Roadrunners of UTSA and the Conference USA Championship. Our college football playoff poll is powered by Ram Trucks.
Man, we get the opportunity to see 1 taking on 3 tomorrow evening on CBS Sports. Michigan, you got to take your hat off to Jim Harbaugh and what that team has done. Oklahoma State, to me, is interesting. It's going to be a good matchup with Baylor. They won the first matchup. If they can win again, I think they're going to be in the playoff. Oregon's on the outside looking in. Ole Miss has had a great year, but that Notre Dame team at number 6, naming Marcus Freeman as the head coach, the viral videos about the team responding to him, if there's some upsets ahead of them, Notre Dame could find themselves in the playoff as well.
Bailey Zappi's made some great throws. He needs a little help out there.
He does. He'd be 75% on the day if his receivers would hold on to the football, but he's thrown the ball for over 180 yards and has had a touchdown. The location of these balls, Rich, has been masterful. Whether it's a deep ball, whether it's against tight man coverage, throwing your guy open like he did there is just remarkable, and you can see why he's the FBS leader in total yards and yards per game, and he's been flawless here in this first half, in my opinion.
He had a deep ball that was dropped at the 5, going in for a touchdown. Zappi fires up the sideline. That's Robichaux with the catch. Look at that. Robichaux is a short yardage back, a guy that they come in to bust through things, and he makes a catch at midfield.
And it's a wheel route, and they just let him go. Somebody was squatting down on the outside thinking that Mitchell Tinsley was going to get the football. Nobody picked up Robichaux out of the backfield, and the wheel route hurts him. And this is what Western Kentucky is so good at. They can move the ball at will. And right now, UTSA on their back end, they are a mess.
Whittingham flags her down. Play is blown dead.
False start. Offense, number 56. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's Bo Wilson, the right guard. And again, that's the second false start that we've seen. The first was Dawood Davis. He's right here. Crowd noise. The 12th man on defense for UTSA showing up already. It's tough, Rich, when the cadence and the timing, when you can't hear and you have to make calls and adjustments, it's really hard to communicate. Sometimes you have to hold hands. Sometimes you got to slap each other. Sometimes you got to cheat and peek. There's all sort of things you can do. But the one advantage that the offense has is that they know the snap count, but crowd noise nullifies that.
Happy. Another deep ball. This one is in and out of the hands. Mitchell Tinsley.
Just an incredible job by Tariq Woolen. He was a game-time decision coming in tonight. Watch his right hand right there. He punches the ball out between the receiver's hands exactly like you're taught, and Tinsley can't bring it down.
Four receivers punched. Zappi on a four-man rush. Is hit and dropped midfield. Clarence Hicks.
Clarence Hicks is the sack leader on this team. Keep your eye there. He's over the right tackle. Mason Brooks, the guy that we highlighted. Brooks oversets, opens up the inside, and Hicks gets his 9th sack of the year, which was a huge one.
Third down and forever. Zappi, little dump off. Cofield. It's to the 35. It's a nice gain. Right around field goal range, but still short of the first down by about 8 yards.
And I wondered if this was going to be 4-down territory for Western Kentucky. That sack really hurt them. Instead, their playmaker Narvison's going to come in and try to knock this down. The early difference in this game, Rich, is that UTSA is scoring touchdowns and Western Kentucky's kicking field goals.
In his career, he has hit 2 from this distance of 53 yards. Had the leg, missed the target. Laces out, kick is up, and wide left. UTSA on top by 8.
Welcome back to San Antonio, and boy, oh boy, the difference in this ball game has been UTSA scoring touchdowns in the red zone. Sincere McCormick first, then the quarterback reverse pass to get him down, and then another punch in by Brendan Brady. It's been the red zone, Ritz, that has really been the difference in the game. Take a look at this. The first 3 possessions, all fair caught, all started at their own 25, and all of them ended in touchdowns.
Last weekend, Western Kentucky had issues in the first half against Marshall. Some of them were tackling issues.
And that's showing up again here tonight, and UTSA is making them pay in the run game.
Little creative. That's McCormick. He's got wheels. Sincerely, touchdown. 65 yards, Sincere McCormick.
Rich, this is going to be a stretch zone. All the offensive linemen are going to run in an area to block their men. Keep your eye on the left guard right there. He pulls them out, but take a look at the running lane right here. There's nobody. Everybody from Western Kentucky's late from the backside. A tremendous block by 74 Spencer Burford. Up on the play side linebacker was the key block that sprang it. We talked about McCormick's burst. We talked about his speed, and he has been deadly tonight for the Meeps.
And remember, this is an offensive line that has been banged up all season long. First drive of the year, they lost one starter. 5 minutes later in their first game, they lost another starter, and it's been mix and match from that point on.
It's been musical chairs, but boy, this team is resilient, and that's the sort of thing that you want to do. I'll be honest, they seemed lifeless. The early interviews on in the week, you wondered how they would come out and respond, but boy, oh boy, have they ever.
Bishop's going to bring it out. Beanie Bishop gets outside. Kicker to beat. And the kicker knocks him out of bounds. Duplessis got him.
Rich, this is the worst of all scenarios for Western Kentucky, but that great return right there breathed some life back into him. I really thought that Western needed to come out and have some early success to quiet the crowd. They did that, but UTSA's offense responded. And ever since then, this crowd's been involved, and that's definitely played a factor for the Hilltoppers' inability to finish drives with touchdowns.
48 yards on the return. Last week, Jeff Traylor was not happy with his special teams. In great field position at the 48.
You're Western, you have to be relaxed. You see Zappy's trying to communicate, but it's really loud to hear. You don't know what's going on, and they're forced to take a timeout because they can't communicate.
Maybe a play clock issue as well. That has not raised the roof at the Alamo Dome. Let's reset the play clock. Although that's being done by the crowd here.
Crowd catches his breath and is going to come back. Bailey Zappi knows this offense. If he's got to check it, the noise makes it really difficult.
High snap again and whistles again. Kevin Randall, our referee.
We're checking the game clock for the correct time.
It ran too quickly initially. Then they put 40 on it, and I don't think it moved at all. Now it's at 25, and they've got to make sure that they get that right. And ironically, in a game with two teams that are running hurry-up offenses.
Please reset the game clock to 9 minutes and 1 second. Thank you.
Very polite.
Very polite. So game clock, play clock, we're all set now. 1st and 10 Western. Can they get some points?
High snap. Zappi falls on it. Absolute disaster. A bad snap cost them 7 points earlier in the game.
The center's got a nose right over him. You can get nervous sometimes when you have a nose tackle that's directly over you. That's the third one of tonight. The first one got blown dead. They got lucky. But they've got to get that sorted out. They're marching the wrong way.
Loss of 23.
The O-line has been the strength of this offense all season long, but tonight they're really hurting their ability to move.
Better snap. Zappy's throw. Jareth Stearns. They get some of it back at the 35. But they've got to go all the way to the UTSA 42 for a first down.
Honestly, they have that capability. They've been able to get behind the defense of UTSA all night. You see the two high safeties up here. That's designed so that you can't let anybody get behind you. But Western's been doing that all evening. Now they're going almost to a Tampa 2 look.
Third down, 23. Zappy in trouble. Escapes. Fires. Well short of the first down. Jareth Stearns to the 47.
Great job by Zappy of getting things back and avoiding another sack by Clarence Hicks. We haven't talked much about Zappy's mobility, but sometimes mobility isn't just getting outside of the pocket, it's evading pressure within the pocket. Masterful job there by 4, but it fell short.
So they went for 10 yards, and that was 12 yards, and yet they're still 11 yards short of the first down. John Haggerty is the punter. We need to introduce the punters when they come on, because they're not going to be on very often at all. Wow. Western Kentucky.
Timeout. WKU. That is their second. It'll be 30 seconds.
The play clock was winding down, and they're unable to get the punt off.
They need to settle down and catch their breath. They're shell-shocked right now, and this is a lot like it was Marshall last week.
2 Eastern tomorrow, back-to-back college hoop tip-offs. A-10 against Big East with Rhode Island and Providence, and number 12 BYU of the West Coast Conference on the road against Missouri State. West Coast Conference has some players. Santa Clara's good. BYU's a top 15 team. San Francisco's rolling. Jamari Bouye, Drew Timme, and Gonzaga, of course, are great. But Barcelo and BYU, they look like they're going to be a top 15 team all year. Fair catch called for and made. 6:46 left. Are you not entertained?
Want to tackle your fitness? Hey Siri, tell me more about Apple Fitness Plus.
Welcome back to the Alamo Dome. The Roadrunners up 28-13, and defensive coordinator Rod Wright, he definitely asked linebacker Demetrius Kane what he saw in that last run with McCormick. He was reminding this defense, guys, said don't get frustrated. We need to stay mentally tough, keep fighting, get after Zappy. And guys, Coach Traylor calling Coach Wright the spiritual leader of this defense, and the team was locked into everything he was saying.
All right, thank you, Jenny. UTSA with a football at 15. Sincere McCormick has had a very nice night, and he dances out of bounds at the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 9.
Sincere McCormick's one of those backs, if you block for 4 yards, he gets you 7. That was completely muddled up on the play side where he wanted to hit it. Western did a great job of canceling the gaps, but McCormick's athleticism allowed him to bounce and pick up almost 8 yards.
14 carries, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. Second and short. Sincere bounces off, spins away, and just is caught by the shoe tops. Antoine Kincaid saved what would have been another long run.
Yeah, Kincaid's one of the big leaders here. It's his job to come up, defeats the block there, stays square, and then just uses his acceleration to just get the heels of McCormick.
Saw those numbers about the 3 running backs for the last 2 years. McCormick, well over 2,700 yards combined. Harris's throw. Man open, it's Franklin with the catch. Flag down. Back at the 40, near the line of scrimmage.
Boy, Harris took a shot there. I wonder if they're taking a look at that. It looked to be a clean hit, but man, did he get popped. Remember, he left the game last week against North Texas.
There are 2 fouls on the play, one by the offense and one by the defense. Ineligible man downfield, offense, number 58. Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 90 of the defense. Those penalties will offset and will replay first down.
Lucky break by both teams, obviously, and that call up front for illegal man downfield was Terrell Haynes, and you see Jeff Traylor's unhappy, but that's what happens when you run the RPOs, the run-pass options. The offensive lineman, it's a called run in the huddle. You're block and run. It's the quarterback's discretion. If Western is going to take the run away, we're going to hit you with the pass. That's exactly what happened, and luckily for UTSA, they got the personal foul that negated the illegal man downfield.
Brendan Brady in the game behind Harris, and Brady going outside. Another nice open field tackle.
Haven't seen a lot of downfield shots by UTSA. It's been kind of controlled. They've been running some tempo, but it's been a lot of slants and throwback passes. Western, on the other hand, has really taken those downfield shots on the outside lanes. UTSA hasn't done that yet.
Blitz, Harris caught, and wrestled down. D'Angelo Malay got away. How did he get out of Malone's hands?
Incredible, gets the ball to Brady. What a heads-up play by Frank Harris. You're going to see Malone come off that right-hand side. That's a mismatch. He beats Brady.
Nice.
Gets him off the outside, but Harris gets him the ball and avoids the sack. We've seen some other examples of that this season. Oklahoma most notably to extend a drive. You have to be careful there. Fumbles have been a problem for UTSA this season.
Western Kentucky's in a good spot for their first stop. 3rd down and 8. 39-yard line.
Going to see what the 4-down territory call is with a big lead like this.
Harris through the pocket, and he's got the first down to midfield. Demetrius Kane with stop.
Does a great job of running out of the outstretched hands there of Michael Pitts, who can't bring him down, and the missed tackles hurting him once again. That's the weapon that Harris is. If you're going to get out of your run lanes, I'll make you pay.
Into Western Kentucky territory. Under 4 minutes left, first half. And UTSA has put up 28 points. McCormick back in and goes down. Gain of 2. Let's check in with Jenny Dell. Jenny?
Yeah, Western Kentucky is without D-tackle Jeremy Darvin, who went into the locker room with about 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. The trainers were holding his right arm. It is, in fact, a right arm injury. He's questionable to return, but, guys, he hasn't been back to the field since he left.
And that's a good reminder, Jenny. Thank you for that, because that front, interiorly, especially for Western Kentucky's been getting gashed. And Darvin, the heart of that defense, him not being out on the field, is hurting them in multiple ways.
Luis Crumb's defense trying to stop the Roadrunners. McCormick, he gets you 5.
And Rich, this is interesting because you take a look with under 3 minutes now. UTSA gets the ball back in the second half. We know that Western Kentucky can score so quickly. The Roadrunners would be smart here to bleed the clock so that they don't leave Western any time. We know that they can score touchdowns, but there's a nice balance between playing a little bit more slowly and not losing your momentum. It's a small pathway that UTSA is trying to hit, but they've done pretty good so far on this drive.
McCormick in the backfield, rolling to his left, firing, and he hits Oscar Cardenas. And the flag at the 39. Might be a pick, might be offensive interference.
Well, Cardenas came off the ball in motion, and you wonder, with as open as he came, if there was going to be a rub or a pick, depending on what side of the ball you favor.
Pass interference. Offense, number 4. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay third down.
That's Zachary Franklin. You got to sell it a little bit more there if you're number 4. That's a route concept that everybody runs. We've seen him have the drop earlier. We've seen him go up and high point the football. But that was a costly mistake. If you're a young receiver, you have to sell that. Turn your back to him, rub him, run through him, make him try to avoid you, but you can't just run up to him and stop because it's too obvious he's going to get called every time.
And Western Kentucky wants to conserve the clock here and calls a timeout.
Timeout, WKU. That is their third timeout. Please reset the game clock to 2:09.
Back to San Antonio after this.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. What's your beef? By Coyote Tractor. And by delicious ice cold Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Hilltoppers had championships in 2015, 2016. They're back in the championship game for the first time since 16. A lot goes into this 3rd down and 18 call for UTSA.
Yeah, because of the penalty, they're backed up. It's 3rd and 18. They have to convert. But if they throw a pass to do so and it's incomplete, that leaves a lot of time on the clock for Western Kentucky. Good use of the timeout there by the Hilltoppers.
Hilltoppers show blitz. They come with 4. Harris is going to keep it. Let's see if they can bring him down. That's not easy. He gets to the 47. And so you can't stop the clock if you're Western Kentucky now, and you certainly can run it all the way down and even take a 5-yard penalty if you're UTSA.
Yeah, and that's going to leave 1:20 on the clock, and we've seen Western score multiple times. This is really going to test Jeff Traylor's aggression and what he wants to do. I think the right call is to punt it and make him go the long way.
He did not want to see his punter on the field at all tonight. He told us that this week.
But this is the right decision, especially since UTSA gets the ball back to start the second half. You don't want to be silly here.
First punt for UTSA. Uh-oh. Speaking of silly. They were looking to get them to jump. They're going to
delay game. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
They're going to take the penalty.
Good strategy. I like it, and great discipline by Western Kentucky. That would have made it a much more interesting decision if it was 4th and 3 there. But instead, it's 4th and 13 and gives the punter a little bit more room to back up this explosive offense.
Jareth Stearns, sure-handed punt returner. And Lucas Dean, who averaged 45 yards a kick. End over end, looking forward to check up. Stearns a fair catch. No timeouts. 1:10 left for Bailey Zappi and the Hilltoppers. Halftime report powered by Ram Trucks is coming up. Brent Stover, Houston Nutt, Kevin Carter, and Danny Cannell from our CBS Sports Network studios in New York. Obviously the start of championship weekend. Big day tomorrow. They'll preview a lot of those games. We'll get to everyone's take on this game tonight. Love to hear Danny Cannell talk about Bailey Zappi a little bit.
No timeouts is crucial in a 2-minute situation like this.
Zappi. Clock will stop with the first down. Mitchell Tinsley with the catch. They're built for this. This is a hurry up offense.
There's no question. This is going to be a huge stop for UTSA if they can find a way to do it. Bailey Zappi's got plenty of time to keep moving this offense.
And Tinsley again with the catch. That's another 17 yards. It's going to stop the clock. And Western Kentucky right at the line of scrimmage. 50 seconds left.
Way too much yardage on those first 2 plays. UTSA has to firm up a little bit to try to challenge them, but they have to balance that with not getting beat over their head.
UTSA is going to take their last timeout.
Smart. Let them catch their breath. Let them see what UTSA has done, talk to the players about the situation. In a normal situation, with no timeouts, the offense wants to work the perimeter. They want to work the edges. But with these guys as explosive as they are, we've seen them attack the seams a couple times and move the ball 40 yards in just 2 plays.
Tyson Helton, the head coach, in the offseason wanted to add some air raid to his offense. So he looked around, watched some game tape, and when he got the Houston Baptist tape, man, did he like that offense. They had a young 29-year-old offensive coordinator, Zach Kittley. He called up Zach Kittley and said, would you like to come to Western Kentucky and run my offense? I want some air raid. This guy has been at the very heart of the air raid. He had to convince Cliff Kingsbury to hire him. So he and Patrick Mahomes got it. I mean, now look, he's 6'7".
Right.
He's a big guy. And in this picture, he's like 25 years old.
Made that fateful decision at Rose's Cafe in Lubbock. Said, this is what I want to do. Sonny Cumbie retained him. He asked to be a part of it. Did anything he could. And boy, oh boy, has he become one of the bright play callers in our sport.
And of course, Bailey Zappi was his quarterback.
Please reset the game clock to 46 seconds. Thank you.
Zappi was his quarterback. Zappi decided to come. And 3 receivers, including Jarrett Stearns, also came from Houston Baptist. On play action, nice shot and catch. And holding it is Cofield out of the backfield. Clock stops. Another first down. They're inside the 40.
They're doing a great job of striking. Now's a perfect time to take a deep shot.
Zappi, another throw. It's caught. No, it's incomplete. Ball on the ground. First official said no catch.
That might actually help the Hilltoppers there. I thought he caught the ball.
No.
But it came through. You got to be careful there with your head. Also, if you're Jamal Sam, that was a little bit of a spearing situation. Okay, you got 30 seconds and no timeouts. Work the edges, work the end zones. If you work the middle of the field, you got to run up and spike it.
Zappi under pressure. Zappi escapes. Looking, running, diving. Clock will not stop. Well short of the first down.
That's the worst of all situations. You can't take a sack. I know that wasn't a sack, but it effectively becomes one because of all the time it takes.
They spike it, and they have 12 seconds left. This is right at the target line, which would mean a 53-yarder from Braden Narveson. He's missed from 53 in this game. Let's see where this one's going to be placed down. Yep, another 53-yarder. He's hit 2 53-yarders in his career. First one was wide left. This one just wide right.
And that's a killer. It leaves 7 seconds on the clock. I don't think UTSA will be silly here and try and take a deep shot. But again, the Roadrunners are scoring touchdowns. The Hilltoppers are trying field goals, and he slips there and maybe grabs his leg like he was a little shook up. But after a beautiful drive that started off extremely well, the Hilltoppers once again fizzle out when they get near the end zone, and UTSA is the beneficiary. Rich, we've seen Western Kentucky in their game last week against Marshall down by 14 points. Tonight they're down by 15. They came out and were masterful in the second half to earn them the opportunity to play in this championship game. This one is far from over.
Well over 600 yards of total offense in this one. UTSA 28. Western Kentucky 13. After the break, we'll send you back to New York, our CBS Sports Network studio. Brent Stover, Houston Nutt, Kevin Carter, and Danny Cannell. You're watching the Ryan Conference USA Football Championship. Conference USA Championship game, first half stats, 630 total yards combined. A lot of points, some missed field goals and missed opportunities. UTSA is up 28-13. Rich Waltz along with Aaron Taylor. Jenny Dell joins us shortly. You just saw all the offense. The difference in this game has been red zone defense for UTSA.
Certainly, UTSA has been stepping up and forcing Western to kick field goals. That's been the difference. The Roadrunners have been meep-meeping when they get down in the red zone, and that's been the difference. It's been defense optional for most of the game, but it's been the red zone defense that's been the difference.
Yeah, and the running game certainly for the Roadrunners are Marco's Pizza, plays we love.
Well, this is the 65-yard touchdown by Sincere McCormick. Western decides to bring pressure off the outside edge. That means that their safety's really the only second-level player. And Spencer Burford, the left tackle, stays on track on this outside zone play and blocks him. And once he gets into the second level, there's nobody there to be able to bring him down. We talked about his breakaway speed. There was also some bad eyes there for Western Kentucky, but really it's been the Roadrunners in that run game that's been the difference, and they have to get themselves back in the game. Now, Rich, last week against Marshall, Western Kentucky scored 47 points and was extremely explosive. They've got to have some early success here to get themselves back in this game, but they're built to do it.
Ball through the end zone, down to Jenny Dell. Hi, Jenny.
Hey there. When I asked Coach Traylor about his overall thoughts of this first half of the game, he is, man, this is crazy. He's really pleased with how the team is doing in the red zone, exactly what you're just talking about. But he said defensively they need to eliminate the big plays. Now, for Western Kentucky, Coach Helen, he took the halftime to regroup. He told his team, remember why you're here. Remember all that you've been through to get to this game. Guys, I asked him how to slow down McCormick. He said, we got to rally and we got to tackle.
No, easier said than done in that first half.
No doubt.
Sincere McCormick was outstanding, 144 yards on just 17 carries. Franklin in motion, Sincere McCormick. No rallying, but a tackle after a gain of about 6. First half possessions. Look at the drives, the yardage on these.
It's amazing. I mean, they came out red hot, and that's what you want to do at home. And because of the success offensively, the crowd noise really played a factor with Western being struggling to move the ball at times.
Harris plunges ahead. He is a strong quarterback. That's a first down for the 36-yard line. Broderick Martin the stop for Western Kentucky.
Rich, we knew coming into this game that the Roadrunners wanted to stay balanced. We thought the last game, Frank Harris threw for 349 yards and 6 touchdowns, but here today it's been the ground game that has them with a 2-touchdown lead.
McCormick, the 38. One thing that helps the run game for UTSA, they don't have tight ends. They essentially have offensive tackles on wheels. I mean, Leroy Watson, 6'5", 275. Oscar Cardenas, 6'4", 275.
And I love that you pronounced Oscar Cardenas' name right. We are here in San Antonio. You think it would be Cardenas, but it's not. It's the way that he pronounces it. But he was the guy that made that great tipped ball touchdown against UAB in the final seconds.
Second down 7. And there's your rallying and tackling that Jenny Dell talked about. That was D'Angelo Malone with help from Darius Shipp.
Darius Shipp won right off the snap. I believe he's right here. Keep an eye there. I think he comes across and gets penetration exactly and rips across the face of the left guard. And that's what you need to do to get the offense behind the sticks.
Third down and 9. Frank Harris looking for a lane to scramble, and it closes quickly, and down goes Harris hard right at the line of scrimmage. And there's your stop for Western Kentucky.
That is a beautiful, beautiful job by the Hilltopper defense. Maurice Crum, the defensive coordinator. Credit the downfield coverage. Frank Harris has nowhere to go, but it was the play before this by Darius Shipp getting a tackle for loss that forced that throw, and the pass rush and good coverage on the back end did the rest. This is exactly how Western Kentucky wanted to start the second half.
Jareth Stearns back at his 20. Lucas Dean to punt. That's a good, high, deep punt. Stearns with a fair catch. Oh! Drops it. Falls out. UTSA has it. Yes, they do.
Things went from as good as they can go to as bad as they can go. That is a ball that Jareth Stearns has made 100 times in his life. But in this game tonight, immediately after his defense got a great stop, he makes a crucial area on the part of the field that UTSA has been dominant all evening.
Danye Taylor on the football. 1st and 10. Frank Harris and the Roadrunners are back in business. He'll keep, and he's met. Nice job by Demetrius Kane, the senior linebacker.
Yeah, and he did a good job of pulling up there as well and not throwing quarterback Frank Harris. There's been some frustration. The energy is high. Remember, this is a rematch, and a rematch that UTSA won largely because of the arm of Frank Harris, but it's been his legs and those of McCormick that have been the difference, particularly down here in the red zone.
52-46 was the score of that first game.
That was a win for the defense on that last play. Got a free win there, though.
Flag down. Harris, corner, throw! Oh, he got it! He got it! Touchdown! Zachary Franklin.
Offside, 97, defense. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Not sure how he got it, but he did.
Concentration and ball skills, great protection. He's tracking the ball the whole time. The defender is into his body, but he positions his body perfectly. That right hand is free. It's bobbling around, and he secures it as he goes to the ground. My goodness. When it rains, it pours for Western Kentucky. And UTSA rising to the occasion and making the plays that they need.
And it starts with a mistake. A fumbled fair catch. And the Roadrunners on a free play with a lot of contact. Franklin, 35-13. The championship game, missed opportunities and mistakes can really hurt you.
This was an opportunity where they dropped a touchdown. Then they got the football to the one but couldn't convert because of the errant snap. It's just been miscue after miscue, a couple missed field goals. And Western Kentucky has struggled all night long. They've had opportunities, Rich. They just haven't been able to convert. And then their best player, one of the best receivers in the country, the only player over 100 catches so far this season, came in tonight with 127. But he had a couple big drops, and the last time they played on October 9th, and that last drop on the muffed punt cost them a touchdown.
Beanie Bishop is deep. See if he brings this one out. Yep, here he comes. Maybe a reverse. No, Bishop. Like out of a cannon. Look at Bishop. Flag down. Bishop out of bounds. This one may come back. That's a well-designed return. Maybe not well blocked legally.
Bishop's been getting loose all night. This is unfortunate.
During the return, blocking the back, number 58, return team. A 10-yard penalty being enforced from the spot of the foul. It'll be first down.
Sunday NFL on CBS doubleheader, early games, matchup of two of the finest young quarterbacks in the game. Herbert's, Joe Burrow. Key showdown in the NFC North between the Ravens and the Steelers. Coverage starts noon Eastern. NFL Today, NFL doubleheader action on Sunday on CBS. Talk about Joe Burrow. And Bailey Zappi is chasing Burrow. Most touchdown throws in a season. Burrow has the all-time record at 60. And Zappi is at 53. And obviously he'll get a bowl game after this game. But he's going to need to throw 3 or 4 more here before this night is done to get his team back into it.
Zappi's thrown 3 or more touchdowns in every game this season. Tonight, he only has 1.
He had one that was dropped. Zappi, it's picked! Intercepted! Antonio Parks.
There was immediate pressure on the snap. The center got beat right away. Zappi pulled the ball down and felt the pressure and just made a bad decision throwing that football off target into triple coverage. We saw successfully Frank Harris earlier pull one down on the same side of the field. His pass was complete, but this time the defense for the Roadrunners steps up, and Zappi now has as many interceptions as he has touchdowns tonight.
Frank Harris back out there.
We talked at the top of the show that he would put the ball in jeopardy at times. UTSA had to get it, and boy, did they.
He gives it to McCormick. Sincere touchdown. Flag down.
Might be celebration. The body language on Western Kentucky right now is as deafening as this crowd noise. Huge mistake by the best players on this team in back-to-back series.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 3 of the offense. That is his first unsportsmanlike conduct foul towards ejection. That foul will be enforced on the kickoff. We'll have the try.
How can a guy named Sincere be unsportsmanlike at the same time?
He has been masterful tonight, running with power, with urgency. This offensive line has really taken over.
168 yards, 21 carries, 3 touchdowns. Wow. A couple big mistakes have cost Western Kentucky 14 points. The pick by Parks. And another score for Sincere McCormick. (42-13) UTSA on top. Let's see who's doing some of the dirty work. Tonight's game brought to you by Coyote Tractor.
Well, it's been Sincere McCormick with a little help from his quarterback there with the push with Frank Harris. But this offensive line doing a masterful job. But missed tackles have also been helping McCormick to have an incredible night. The Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year last year, saving his best for last, and really has been the difference here tonight.
This is an incredible night. I mean, when you stop and think, this program was started 11 years ago. Larry Coker came from Miami. I mean, to start a program, it takes you 2 or 3 years to ramp up. And here they are, about to win a championship, up 42-13. Jakari Moses. And Moses to the 35. We check in with Jenny Dell. Hi, Jenny.
Well, guys, Sincere has been going off tonight. I spoke with him earlier this week, and I asked where his name came from. He said his mom, Precious, was a huge Tupac fan, and Tupac was supposed to be in a movie called Belly, but as we all know, he passed away in '96 before the filming. So Nas stepped in, and in the intro to the movie, one of Nas's character's opening lines was, "Me, my name is Sincere." His mom fell in love with the name, and that's where it came from, fellas.
Wow, Jenny. I know you're a big Nas fan. What's your favorite Nas song?
Nas is my guy. If I ruled the world. Imagine that.
Anytime we need movie info, Jenny Dell is our go-to. Bailey Zappi has a tall hill to climb. Mitchell Tinsley makes the catch. There's a lot of time left, but Western Kentucky has shown no sign of being able to stop the Roadrunners offensively.
And that's really the shock here. I thought that they would do a much better job of that, and it was going to be UTSA that felt the pressure to have to keep up with this high-powered offense, but the offense has shot itself in the foot as well.
Zappi surveying, sidearms one, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Corley again.
He had Mitchell Tinsley on the shallow cross coming across from left to right on this side. Excuse me, he's come from the #1 wide receiver position, but he's right here. He did have an outlet, but he was trying to push the ball down the field. Third down.
Whittington in the backfield.
So hard as an offensive lineman when the noise is this deafening.
Zappi's going to take off. Got to get the first down. Has it. And he dives out to midfield. 16 yards.
Great job there. Now it's tempo, Rich. You go fast. Double stacks, watch the bubble screen, and the fake go.
It's a go. It's Davis. And he comes back and turns and makes the catch.
We've seen some incredible catches tonight. Davis is the speedster with the ability to get behind the defense. 6'2", and just plucks the ball out of the air against tight coverage.
Zappi, little inside toss. A diving Mitchell Tinsley at the 12.
This is one of the cute little wrinkles that the offensive coordinator, Zach Kitley, likes to do out of that stack formation. They run delays on the bubble slant concepts, and they basically let the defense determine where they're going to go, and they zig wherever you zag.
We heard Danny Cannell at halftime talk about Bailey Zappi. He's been doing his job, and he has been until he threw that pick. UTSA is going to call a timeout.
Timeout. UTSA. That is their first. It'll be 30 seconds.
This is an incredible atmosphere here tonight, and I know Jenny Dell's been in the middle of it. Jenny, I'm sure a lot of fun down there.
Yeah, I actually asked Coach Helton at the half if noise has been a factor here, and he said, no, not at all. We've actually been preparing for this crowd all week long. He said, plus we're a silent count, silent clap team. So he claims that all the costly mistakes and miscommunications is not from the noise, but guys, I'm telling you, it is loud.
It is, and when we talked to him this week, he told us that they thought that they did a pretty good job when they were on the road against Michigan State of being able to handle the noise there. He felt that their operation was going to be good, but the difference, and we talked about it from the very first quarter when they missed that first field goal, it's been the red zone. They just haven't been able to complete drives, and here's a great opportunity for them to get a chance to do it, and that's why Jeff Traylor took the time out there. He wants his defense to make these guys to have to try another field goal.
Zappi high on that one, and it's incomplete. All right, we heard Jenny talk about noise, and Tyson Helton said, hey, we're a silent snap team. What about an offensive lineman and the ability to call signals or call coverages for an offensive lineman?
The offensive line is the only position in our sport where 5 have to function as one. The way that that function takes place is through communication. the inability to verbally tell your partner what you're going to do or what to look for is crippling.
Cappy's, ooh! Right as the ball arrived, Jarrett Stearns paid the price. Tariq Woolen.
This is football, baby. He felt that. Tariq Woolen has brought the wood tonight. Several very good plays. Try to get this ball to your best playmaker, and he's right there.
This is 4th down and 6. Zappi's throw is caught. That's Tinsley. And he's in for a touchdown. So finally, Western Kentucky completes a red zone visit with a touchdown.
Excellent. I thought Zappy was pressing a little bit on this drive, but he does a good job. The coverage is too soft. And look at that. We just saw Tariq Woolen lay the wood, but he almost was passive there as he allowed Tinsley to walk into the end zone.
Narveson to add the extra point. And he hits it. There's a lot of time here, but a huge lead for UTSA. Western Kentucky, an impressive drive.
It certainly was. You need your best playmakers to step up when the game's on the line. Bailey Zapley to Tinsley was just that.
This
Big Farm College football today, all tomorrow on CBS.
Take a look here at the FBS teams with one loss or fewer. UTSA there at the bottom. They were in the elite undefeateds until stubbing their toe unexpectedly against a North Texas team that ran all over them.
UTSA is looking like they expect an onside kick.
I think they need to be ready for that for the rest of the game.
Nope, that one's going to go deep. And that'll give us time to recognize one of the great guys in all of college athletics, and he was such a friend to us here at CBS and to many other networks. Russ Anderson passed away in April, and it doesn't feel like a Conference USA championship game without Russ Anderson.
No, he was synonymous with this conference and just meant so much to the teams and the communities and the people in the game and the championship, and we always had a lot of good belly laughs when we were together, and he's certainly going to be missed.
UTSA, this is Brendan Brady. He's had a nice night spelling Sincere McCormick. Beatty Bishop made the stop after a 9-yard carry.
UTSA has done a great job this evening of running the football, right? 250 plus rush yards on the ground. They also want to think about bleeding the clock. 26 seconds left. You don't want to slow yourself down, but you also want to start to think about shortening this game. I know we're still in the middle of the third quarter, but as we saw in that last drive, Western Kentucky can score with the best of them. They scored 47 second-half points in their comeback against Marshall.
Is that similar to a basketball team that when they're on the run and they play up tempo, when they slow it down a bit, it's a danger that you could stall the offense?
It is. You lose your rhythm, and you start to get out of what you're used to doing, and that's the battle for coaches when they're calling plays.
Well, it's the 3rd down and 2. It feels like a rather large 3rd down. Harris, little flip. Oh, spinning and catching that is Brendan Brady. And he's got the 1st down to the 44-yard line. That was nifty.
Great catch there by number 5, Brendan Brady, but he also had number 4, Zachary Franklin, in the other flat that was wide open as well. And we know that Franklin can go, but that was a tremendous one-handed catch. How many of those have we seen here tonight, Rich?
A lot. 11 yards on that pickup.
It was a huge conversion, to your point, because it continues to bleed the clock.
McCormick tries the right side.
And we go down to Jenny Dell. Jenny?
Yeah, Western Kentucky D-tackle Jeremy Darvin, who went out with 7 minutes to go in the first, just walked back out. He's in street clothes with a sling on his right arm. Defensive coordinator Maurice Crum said he's the heartbeat of this defense. So, guys, it is hard to live without your heartbeat, and they're definitely feeling it now.
All right, thank you, Jenny. Yeah, I mean, look, he's a, when you need stops, it's guys like Darvin that you depend on. Blitz comes, Harris throws it quickly, it's dropped. Josh Cephas couldn't hold it.
And that drop also stops the clock. So it was an interesting third down call. If you're UTSA, the goal is to continue to get first downs and extend this drive. You're not watching the clock like you're in a 2-minute situation. But this is just really good coverage that time by Beanie Bishop, the returner. And I think that spooked the receiver to not being able to control that one.
5 of 8 on third down. Remember, Jeff Traylor told us today that he would be going tonight on fourth down a lot, but he's got a 3-score lead right now. Harris's throw on the, oh, wow. What a pop by Antoine Kincaid.
Man.
At short of the first down thanks to Kincaid.
There is some physicality going on, but how about Frank Harris? 4 for 4 on third down passing. UTSA was only 4 for 11 throwing the ball in their October 9th matchup, but here tonight he's been perfect. And yeah, this is a situation where if you're UTSA, you have to continue to let your offensive line and Sincere McCormick take over.
4th and less than a yard. McCormick stopped. I don't know. It depends on the spot. It's close. I don't think he has it. Jaden Hunter, the initial hit.
I don't think he does either, and this is going to be a heck of a stop and a jolt of energy and breathe some life into this Western Kentucky team. Boys, they're going to be close, Rich, but I agree with you. Zero movement up front. And credit the Hilltopper D-line for winning their matchups across the board there.
This just hasn't happened very often tonight.
Too much catching up front. Western Kentucky was really aggressive. They triggered their linebackers and came downhill, and that forced McCormick into trying to find somewhere to go when all the gaps were canceled.
By more than a dime. And so Western Kentucky gets the football. They're down 3 scores, but this is an offense that in the blink of an eye can put it in the end zone. And it feels like their defense has a little momentum for them tonight. Three-score game, but great field position for Western Kentucky and Bailey Zappi, who's had some highs and some lows.
Been a little bit of a mixed bag early on. We saw him find Mitchell Tinsley on the opening drive of a game to get the touchdown. He also had another touchdown that was dropped with the double clutch and bad decision to throw the football with the interception led to UTSA's touchdown. But then he found Tinsley again. And with Tinsley now has 2 receiving touchdowns, which ties the Conference USA Championship game record that's been done 7 times by 6 different players. They should keep trying to feed that young man because 5 is hot.
Best starting field position of the night for Western Kentucky, and movement and flags. Procedure.
False start. Offense, number 18. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's the second on Dawood Davis. So Jenny talked to the coaches about the silent count, it not being a problem. That's their 3rd procedural penalty here tonight, and the second on Dawood Davis. UTSA with 3 deep safeties.
Zappi on the money. Malachi Corley with the catch, tumbles for the first down, or excuse me, short of the first down, out to midfield. Corley, a freshman out of Orange City, Florida.
UTSA has 34 sacks on the year. This would be a great time in the game to unleash that.
They bring a blitz. Nice catch. Corley spins away, short of the first down by about 5 yards. It's third down. Obviously 4-down territory for the rest of the night, it feels like.
Here comes that dangerous double stack look. Got free releases inside here.
Zappy throw. Ooh, big hit. Flags down. That could be targeting. Wisdom coming up. Rashad, the senior and the leading tackler on this team. And that's the younger of the Stearns brothers. And that's Josh Stearns.
Personal foul, targeting, number 0 of the defense. That play is under further video review.
Now remember, when they review a targeting foul, and here's our first look.
Oop.
Yeah.
He's gone. As soon as he dropped the head and hit with the crown of the helmet. One of the 2 factors that they're looking at, and the launch with the forearms coming through. The forcible contact to the head or neck area. That's going to be the last play of the night for a safety that's played pretty well for UTSA.
When the officials in the booth review a targeting, they re-officiate the play. So regardless of what was called on the field, once they get it, it's almost as if they haven't seen the play or the call yet.
Here are the elements there on the left, but that was a crucial third down play. So they're going to get a fresh set of downs plus 15 yards. Everything seemingly going the way of Western Kentucky here over these last couple series offensively.
After review, the foul for targeting has been confirmed. Number 0 has been disqualified. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous spot with an automatic first down.
So that affects your depth at a position that was struggling at times. Rashad Wisdom, aside from being a physical tackler, was their leading tackler. And he's also going to be out for the bowl game in the first half as well. Big loss for the Roadrunners defensively.
Penalty's going to move the football to the 33-yard line.
Which puts them in field goal range with that penalty and a fresh set of downs. But as we've discussed, Western Kentucky's going to get themselves back in this ball game. Field goals aren't going to do it.
And of course, the rule change, Wisdom does not have to leave the field. He can stay on the bench.
Really like that change.
Zappy, little quick toss, caught there. Tinsley in traffic, and he ends up getting inside the 30 to the 29. Gain of 4.
Just a simple, quick speed out. And Tinsley's been the hot guy. Great job of keeping his balance there. He's making players miss. A good pursuit by the guys in blue.
Tyson Hilton and the Hilltoppers were down 29. Under 4 minutes left, third quarter. Pressure. Zappy escapes. Dumps it off and incomplete. Whittington was the outlet.
Dadrian Taylor, who had that big hit on Stearns in the first game, completely runs around the tight end, but can't complete it. And that allows Zappy to step forward, who's pretty mobile, and throw the incompletion versus taking a sack. That's the sort of pass rush that UTSA needs defensively to get themselves off the field here.
4-down territory. Zappy rifles it, and it's caught. Corley with the catch. That's a first down inside the 15 to the 13.
And that was on man-on-man coverage with Antonio Parks, the young man that had the interception earlier. Zappy delivers the football with precision.
26 yards, end zone shot, and it's incomplete. Tinsley, the intended receiver.
Felt like there was a little bit of contact there. I disagree. I think that's a good no call. Just seemed to be some miscommunication where Zappi and Tinsley weren't on the same page one of the only times tonight. They're an empty 5 wide receiver set. This is where pass rush can help you.
Zappi's 40th throw of the night is on the money for a touchdown. Jarrett Stearns. "13 yards.
Excellent job of finishing the drive by Western Kentucky. 7 plays, 53 yards, just over 2 minutes. And Rich, the Hilltoppers are starting to inch their way back into this game and going for 2 to get them to 28.
Well, Zappi's in the shotgun. You got the offensive line over on the top of your screen. The snap, Zappi's throw, incomplete. Joey Belgian. He was there. The ball was thrown a little far out in front. And they chase those 2 points and come up empty.
But we also saw Belgian have a drop earlier. Great job there, hitting Jarrett Stearns. It was almost too easy. He beat Kalichi Wakuchu. And then here's the 2-point conversion that had a really good shot. But yeah, you're right. It was just a little far outside the outstretched hands of Joey Belgian, who, when we talked to the coaches and offensive coordinator, Zach Kitley, he raved about Belgian's physicality. And that's what I saw on tape, too. He said he's the type of dude that likes to put his face in the fan. But he needed more than that to bring that ball in.
The stadium has been home to a lot of things. The Spurs for many years, the Alamo Bowl forever, it seems. It is home to UTS. It is home to the Roadrunners. And UTSA has put almost 42,000 in here tonight. Over 41,000 is in this house for a program that didn't exist until 11 years ago. And they're all staying. They're not going home. They know that this is a shootout. They know that things can change in a hurry. But I get a sense they want to be here for the celebration at the end.
No question. But they got to give them something to celebrate offensively, because UTSA has kind of not been able to move the ball these last 2 drives. Western Kentucky scored that touchdown in 2 minutes. There's a lot of 2-minute sections left in this ball game, certainly enough to get the Hilltoppers back in this game. I think all the clock management stuff that UTSA was doing early in the 3rd quarter needs to go out of the window. They need to get back to what they were successful with in the first half.
Harris, quick out. And that's to Corian Clark. It's a gain of 9. We've been talking certainly about Zappi a lot tonight, but this guy, Frank Harris, has been outstanding. He's 12 of 17, 125 yards. He's run for 73 yards.
That, to me, is where he's been outstanding. He's thrown the football efficiently. He's certainly protected it. The way he's extended plays and made them with his legs has been the difference.
That's going to be enough for the first down.
Another good job by Darius Shipp, winning his one-on-one matchup on the snap of the ball, but can't fully bring down McCormick. Young man's just powerful. You block 2, he gets you 3. There's been so many missed tackles on this front 7 for the Hilltoppers this evening. You can add that last one to the list.
McCormick in motion. Harris looks his way. He'll keep it and finds a seam to the 39, gain of 4.
Really nice job that time by D'Angelo Malone. He's a championship level impactor. He's the type of guy I hated to block because he's got a relentless motor. Last week he had 7 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, a couple sacks, and a forced fumble. And it was that hit on Grant Wells, the quarterback, that really got them back into the game.
McCormick on the move, ball's deflected and incomplete. There's different thoughts when you're down by that many, 22, you score. Do you chase the points and try to make up that lost point or that extra point with a 2-point conversion early, or do you wait till the end?
I don't know if there's a wrong or a right way to do it, but I believe going for it too early can be problematic, and I believe that's what happened there.
Harris has a lot of time. Quick throw, and he found Cardenas, and he's got the first down.
And that's what his mobility does. He extends the play, keeps his eyes down the field. Cardenas is open for quite a bit. He's clapping for his hands, give me the ball, and he's right there at the sticks.
And that's the important part. He got the first down yardage. All he had to do was catch it and get out of bounds.
That's good execution here. We have a little over a minute left here in the third quarter.
Harris, well, there's your deep shot. And that's deep. Cephas, intended receiver.
That was more of a duck than a Roadrunner. One of the few deep shots we've seen them take this evening. I think he just tried to throw that ball too hard, and that's why it lost its rotation and then velocity. It's like trying to overswing when you're on the tee box, which I unfortunately know all too much about.
You're right, Harris efficient. He hasn't had to take deep shots tonight. Clark in motion. Harris steps into the pocket. Another little flip. Another completion. Another first down. Leroy Watson, the tight ends, finally getting involved here.
Really impressed with Frank Harris going through his read progressions there. That was his third outlet. He's not a one gun and go guy. He's going through his progressions looking, and then finally finds his outlet of Leroy Watson, the 6'5", 275-pounder out of Georgia. That's good quarterbacking.
First and 10, McCormick bounces. In the final seconds of the third quarter, Western Kentucky has inched closer. UTSA is on the move and headed to the fourth, and 15 minutes away from their very first conference title ever. Three quarters in the books. Roadrunners on top. You're watching the Ryan Conference USA Football Championship. You are watching the Ryan Conference USA Football Championship. Rich Waltz along with Aaron Taylor and Jenny Dell. Numbers through 3, Mr. Taylor.
Well, the run game obviously for UTSA has been the huge difference here, as have the turnovers and red down inefficiency. Right now what Western is doing is loading the blocks. They're run blitzing. I think RPOs can take advantage of the overly eager linebackers.
Second down 10. Harris firing, sideline. No, it's incomplete. A field goal here is an important number to hit if you are UTSA, because it stretches it to a 3-score game.
Been some good and some not so good for Franklin. That was a tough one that you hope he could get his hands underneath, but that would have been a spectacular catch had he been able to make it.
For at least 5 or 6 yards from a target line here.
For Western Kentucky, you have to watch his legs as well.
Third down 10. Harris's throw right on the money, and that's a first down. Josh Cephas.
Beautiful, beautiful job and execution there. And they look to the sideline. It was a check with me right out of the gate, but it becomes an on-the-move pick. Just a brilliant design and execution right there. Zachary Franklin got lucky. He didn't get flagged again for OPI. He was pretty aggressive, a moving screen, if you will.
16 yards now in field goal range for Hunter Duplessis, whose long in his career is 51. So he's got plenty of cushion now. McCormick hauled down. And that's Demetrius Kane.
It's about the third or fourth first down run in a row that Western Kentucky's done a masterful job. That's why I was thinking the RPOs, the run pass options, sell the run, let the offensive line come off, but then hit a quick slant underneath to take advantage of the space vacated by the linebacker that's coming upfield to stop the run.
Maurice Crum, defensive coordinator, 4-year starter at linebacker for Notre Dame, and a 2-time captain there. Low snap, and Harris is swallowed up back at the 34. D'Angelo Malone got around the tackle, gets the sack.
That was huge. He's going to come off this outside edge here. The right tackle sank down inside like he was trying to squeeze, and it just shortened the corner and basically opened the door for Malone. That's a bust up front. There's no way that that should be the design of the pass protection there. They made Malone's job way too easy.
McCormick in the backfield, long third down. Quick toss. McCormick back to the 30. This would be a 47-ish field goal attempt for Duplessis. It's 23 of 28 on the season.
This is a big one, Rich. You pointed out beautifully that if they make this, it becomes a 3-score game. That really puts the pressure on Western Kentucky. But credit the Hilltoppers for firming up and finding ways to get themselves off the field and force UTSA to kick a field goal, which they didn't have to do in the first half.
46 yards. And that's not going to get it done. And Western Kentucky still has life and still has 12 minutes and 11 seconds. And their offense can get this done. A stop by the defense, a miss on the field goal, still a ball game.
This field.
Aaron Taylor, if Western Kentucky doesn't make it all the way back, they're going to look at this sequence of events early in the third.
Yeah, it started in the second half when Jareth Stearns, their playmaker, calls for the fair catch but muffs it, loses it, and the result is a touchdown with a beautiful one-handed grab by UTSA. And then after number 4 makes a touchdown catch, number 4 gets the interception, and then McCormick takes over, and poor tackling and his big legs, to your point, are the difference.
And there's another number 4, but it's noted it was Franklin with the catch and Parks with the interception. So here we go. Need 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions. Zappe can get you some. Fires it, coming back, deflected and incomplete. Josh Stearns.
I thought that one had a chance. It was initial coverage was really good. There was nowhere for Zappe to throw the football. A little bit of a grab there, and then it kind of becomes a scramble drill. The ball's thrown behind Stearns, and he's got to pivot back to it, which takes him right to the defender. And yes, there is some contact there, but it's equal rights to the football. I like the no flag.
Second down 10. Zappe loads up, middle shot. And that's Jareth Stearns, the older brother of Josh, who makes the catch. And the Hilltoppers are inside UTSA territory.
Just running a straight seam route, and the safety's just sitting on it. They have let them do this all night long and have yet to adjust.
Little toss out to Whittington. Oof. He's popped, but a nice gain. Clock rolls.
Trevor Harmonson came over and gave him a nice big pop. Good job of holding on to the football, but this is crucial here for Western Kentucky. This is a heck of a job they get in the end zone here.
Second down 3, little inside shot. Tinsley with a catch, stretches, in, touchdown. They're going to look at this. I'm not sure if he actually was in. Obviously, you need to go for 2, but let's look at this.
Yeah, he's going to be short, his knees down right there.
This is a great look.
But it was a great effort by him as well. And remember, we've seen Western Kentucky get down to the 1-yard line.
Video review.
And because of the bad errant snapped, ended up having to try to kick a field goal and didn't get in the end zone after being on the 1-yard line. And this is a very similar situation here.
I don't think you can count on one hand the number of opportunities missed tonight by Western Kentucky. They have another one here. This is going to be a 1st and goal right at the 1 or just inside of it.
And credit these players and staff by the Hilltoppers. They have stuck in this game. And I'll be honest, there's some things we're seeing from UTSA that don't look good. They're looking passive on the back end, particularly at the safety spot, letting these guys run open and get behind them. No seeming sense of urgency. Yeah, you've scored a ton of points in this ball game, but now it's...
After review, the ruling on the field has been changed. The runner was down at the 1-yard line, short of the goal line. It will be 1st and goal at the 1.
Well, you just talked about the bad snap. Where do you go in this offense for short yardage? What does it look like when this air raid needs just 1?
You try to run some pick routes. You run twins on each side, create guys in space, or get some one-on-ones.
Occasionally, you'll give it to Kai Robichaux.
I like UTSA's matchup here on the D-line.
Robichaux in the backfield. It's a good snap, and it's Robichaux. He's churning, and he's in. Touchdown.
That was close. Robichaux, the freshman out of Columbus, Georgia. 99 did a great job of coming across Brandon Matterson, but that second effort, what a heads-up play by Robichaux to put the ball across the line of scrimmage before his body touched the ground. So this is, of course, Rich, as you mentioned, a go-for-2 situation. And boy, oh boy, does the pressure start to mount.
$41,000 still here. Low snap. Zappy. Time. Fires. Corner. Caught! It's good! Jarrett Stearns. What a grab. And Western Kentucky is within 8 points of UTSA. They were down 29, and they've come this far.
The Hilltoppers down a week ago against Marshall, left for dead. They came back in the second half, just like they're doing here tonight.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Ryan, a leader in global tax services and software solutions. By Ram Trucks, J.D. Power's #1 brand in new vehicle quality. And by Marco's, pizza lovers get it.
41,000 were in celebration mode about 20 minutes ago. But Western Kentucky has rallied and is within 8 points in this Conference USA championship game. Aaron Taylor, how have they done it?
Boy, oh boy. Well, it didn't start out so good when he had Jarrett Stearns with the muff punt, but it really was Bailey Zappi finding some holes in a very soft and porous UTSA defense. And then it was the nice run by Robichaux and what he did, and then the 2-point conversion by Jarrett Stearns going up and high-pointing and plucking the football. And well, oh well, Tyson Helton's team got themselves right back into this game.
This season, the largest deficit overcome for a win, 25 points. Biggest lead here was 29 points. Harris is going to fire this one out of bounds, and it's incomplete. That stops the clock. Second down and 10.
Big storyline in the second half of this game is the inefficiency to gain positive yards on first down, either running the ball or throwing the ball for UTSA.
Is it as simple as just loading the box?
Initially, and that's why I think going to the RPO game on first down would be a good change of pace. They're going to win this game. Harris is going to have to do it.
McCormick in motion, low snap, and Harris keeps it. I don't know that he wanted to keep it initially, but that low snap meant he really couldn't hand it off to McCormick.
The timing was not there. First, he had the errant throw on first down because of some miscommunication. But to your point, great job by Jawan Jones, the defensive end, being able to play both the end around and the quarterback keep there.
Boy, a 3 and out would be ginormous.
Ooh, huge.
3rd and 9. Roadrunners need that 9 yards. Blitz comes. Everybody comes. Throw over the middle, and open there for the catch is Cardenas.
That was huge. Oh, there's an injured offensive lineman limping back to the line of scrimmage. You're going to bring people from depth. You go to where they vacate the space. Cardenas, the perfect route against that blitz, and Harris put the ball on the money. Live by the blitz, you die by the blitz, and right there that conversion happened because UTSA threw it where they weren't.
Right tackle Mekhi Hart came out. Jalen Galmore replaces him. For the Roadrunners, not much there, just 2 yards to the 44. That was a huge 3rd down and 9 conversion.
No question. And remember how much success early on in the game UTSA was having on the perimeter? They've gotten away from that. A lot of their runs in the run game came from inside the tackles. They've stuck with that. I really think they need to try to get the ball back out on the perimeter where they were having success early on.
McCormick has run for 178 yards, 28 carries, 3 touchdowns, 65-yard touchdown run, his longest run of the night. And McCormick's going nowhere fast. It's going to be another 3rd down and 9.
Immediate pressure over the right tackle. We saw that there was an injury. Boy, Darius Shipp is just doing some great things in this ballgame. He's actually over the guard right there. He's going to swim and just come across and do a great job. That penetration is the kryptonite to the run game, and 97 doing a great job picking up for the injured Jeremy Darvin.
Maurice Crum brought everybody, it seemed, on that last 3rd and 9.
And that's why Harris has to take advantage of that. This time they bail and play coverage.
Harris is flushed and chased and fires. It's caught, but not enough for the 1st down.
Ooh, now it is decision time.
You would think, I mean, look, he went for it twice deep in his own territory the first time they met on 4th down.
Being conservative is what's gotten them to this point. That's what's allowed Western Kentucky to get back in the game. I love the decision here for him to go for it. It's a championship, Rich. We talked about opportunity. We talked about a lifetime of memories. You're not going to win a championship by being conservative at this point in the game.
4th and a long 3. Harris all alone. Sets, fires, throws, got him! 1st down! Zachary Franklin delivered on time and on target.
This route is incredible that he runs here. A snag route or a jerk route. We saw Alabama run this for a 2-point conversion in their game in the Iron Bowl, and there Franklin runs a beautiful route and Harris hits him. I think that that's going to be the recipe for the rest of the game. You have to give Frank Harris, your quarterback, opportunities to go win it for you.
And now field goal range comes into play.
No question. It's an 8-point game now. With a field goal, it becomes a 2-point game. Any points here from this point out matter.
McCormick, he's been slow, but not this time. That's 9 more yards.
And that's 6 of those yards he got by himself. He gets hit right near the line of scrimmage. Right there, 1 missed tackle, 2 missed tackle, 3 missed tackles. And Rich, a story of this game is how Western has responded to stop the run. They've done a remarkable job in the second half, only 54 yards after going over for 200 in the first.
186 right now for McCormick. There's a first down to the 28.
And this is what you want to do at this point in the game. This offensive line has been banged up. It's been a revolving door. We talked about how they made it 7 plays into the season before they lost starter number 1 at the tackle. A couple series later, they lose their center, and from then on, it's been a hodgepodge mismatch. It's been that way here tonight, yet here they are with an opportunity for the boys up front to take over and win their championship.
In field goal range, that would make it a 2-score game. This is an end zone shot, and it's caught. That's a touchdown. Clark. That makes it a 2-score game.
And that was huge. DeCorian Clark had 3 touchdowns in their first game. He doesn't secure that ball right away, but boy, does he get it on his way to the ground. That's tremendously difficult. He knows he doesn't have it. The defender's arm is right in there, but he fights and wrestles it away for the score.
10 plays, 75 yards, almost 5 minutes off the clock. That may have been a championship drive. DeCorian Clark from Frank Harris, Roadrunners. $41,000 very loud Roadrunner fans. This kind of looks like the Riverwalk last night with the Christmas lights and the boats going through. Quite a scene for an 11-year-old football program trying to win its first championship. And you get the sense that this is just the beginning. This program is going places. I mean, with this fan base that all of a sudden is just engaged, with all the talent in Texas for college football. Short kick, Moses at his 15. Cuts back. And to the 28-yard line. Orion keys to the game revisited.
Well, Western Kentucky offensively beat Chunktasic. They've been that 11 pass plays for 328 yards tonight. Defensively, they couldn't stop the run, though. And for the Roadrunners, start fast, sustain drives, and score touchdowns. To me, that's been the difference in this game. And defensively, they've also stole a couple possessions. The miscues for Western Kentucky cost them severely, and you're hoping that the best quarterback and most productive one in the country can get you back in it.
Zappy's in trouble, flushed, fires it out of bounds. The officials right now.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the pocket and the ball crossed the neutral zone. Second down.
And he was waiting for that side judge to line it up like they do when a punt goes out of bounds before he made that determination.
Clarence Hicks with the pressure again, just an excellent job. He had a sack earlier. He's gotten close twice. And that gives them a chance. Defense wins that first down. But Bailey Zappi in this offense can score at will when they're humming.
Corley in motion. Pressure's on. Zappi's going down. Charles Wiley.
Dadrian Hicks over on this side. The pocket's going to collapse, but it's going to be Hicks over that right side that comes back in, folds inside off the tackle. That's really tough on the tackle, but the pressure's starting to mount. Look at this alignment here.
Third down, inside throw, and that makes fourth down a little more manageable. Corley makes the catch. So instead of fourth down at 15, fourth and 11. Zappi needs yards. Flags down, free play, fires it, almost caught. It's incomplete, but the flag is sitting at the 27, and it's going to be offsides against UTSA.
Critical penalty.
Offside, defense, number 2, in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty, replay fourth down.
Here he is right here. That's Charles Wiley. Oh, man, from that angle, it's hard to see that he was into that neutral zone. But the linesman was the one that threw the flag, and he's got a great look at it.
4th and 6. Roadrunners look like they're coming, and they are. Zappi throws off the back foot, and it's caught. Flag is down at the 45 near midfield. Another flag is down right in front of the Western Kentucky bench. That's a heck of a catch. This could be offensive pass interference, and maybe somebody reacted on that sideline. There's 2 flags. And by the looks of Tyson Helton, this looks like it's going against Western Kentucky.
You got a championship on the line, Rich. You got to be at your best when your best is needed. And both of these teams need their best right now. They haven't been perfect, but I wonder if there's a little bit of defensive pass interference on that far sideline.
That second flag came a good 8 to 10 seconds after the play.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 live ball and 1 dead ball. Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 26. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run, and it'll be a first down. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 8 of the offense. That is number 8's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul towards disqualification. That 15-yard foul will also be enforced, but it'll be first down.
Well, you were right when you said you have to be at your best, and neither team was at their best on that.
I mean, if you're Jareth Stearns, you've already had a muffed punt, and now you're going to get a costly penalty after taking advantage of UTSA that right there, Corey Mayfield hit the face mask. And he turns and he tries to flip him the ball, but that's right there. He had his hand on the face mask, but you saw Stearns get up after and try to flip the ball to the defender.
But of course, the first down, the most important thing, low snap, Zappi, sideline, incomplete. Tough to find a man open.
This pass rush for UTSA really starting to heat up, and credit the secondary, Rich. Zappi had to pull that ball down. There was nowhere to go. That allows the defensive line to get pressure and to win their blocks, and that's what forced the errant throw.
Western Kentucky has all 3 of their timeouts left, but they're down 2 scores.
They need 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion.
Zappi caught. Jareth Stearns. He's getting close to 500 yards in this game, 31 of 49.
This is a defense that's had the...
UTSA may have gotten a timeout before the snap.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Ball sits at midfield.
Timeout, UTSA. That is theirs. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
Inside college football, it's coming up after this one. Lots to talk about with this game. Pac-12 championship and set up championship Saturday across the landscape of college football. Brent Stover will lead the group in an orderly discussion with plenty of bells and whistles. The 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Been in these situations, Bailey Zappe's telling his team, okay guys, here's what needs to happen. Give me time and we can win this game. Pass protection is going to be key. His receivers have been winning against this secondary, and it's a secondary without their leading tackler, Rashad Wisdom, who's been ejected. But take a look at Bailey Zappe, almost 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. And he's still got plenty of gas left in the tank.
55 touchdown passes this year. The all-time record is 60. Joe Burrow. Zappe, quick throw. And it's on the money. It's a catch. And Corley, or rather Stearns, inside the 35. Clock stops. They move the chains. And the up-tempo offense is clicking.
Now they're moving at a lightning pace, and they have to because time's not on their side.
Zappe going to go, and it's incomplete, almost picked. Tinsley was the intended receiver. And Corey Mayfield Jr. on the coverage.
The 12th interception for this team would have been huge. Mayfield with the face mask has a chance to end the game right there if he can hold on to that football. Instead, Western Kentucky's looking at 2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line and needs 2 scores.
Four-man rush. Zappe, head fake, end zone, open, touchdown! Jareth Stearns! Western Kentucky is not dead yet.
Jareth Stearns is right here. Keep your eye on the safety. He's going to lull him to sleep. This guy comes up, and then he's just going to scoot behind him. This is terrible safety play. What is he waiting on? I mean, great move by Jareth Stearns. Poor safety play, but it's almost like they're lulling those defensive backs to sleep. And good on Western Kentucky for scoring a much-needed touchdown.
Extra point up and good. They don't chase that extra point. They're still down 8. There's still 4 minutes left, and Western Kentucky still has 3 timeouts. 56 touchdown passes this year for Bailey Zappe, and this is still a ball game. What a year this young man has had. Bailey Zappe, the transfer from Houston Baptist. 4 touchdowns tonight. And here's where he ranks all-time most touchdown passes in a season. Now, Joe Burrow had 60 in 15 games. Colt Brennan, 58, 14 games. This is the 13th game for Bailey Zappe. He'll get 1 more, a bowl game. His offensive coordinator, Zach Kittley. Those 2 together at Houston Baptist. And they're hoping to get 1 more chance. Fair catch called for and made, and we check in with Jenny Dell.
Yeah, guys, Coach Helton knew that this one was going to be a battle, and when we talked to him this week, he said he had 1 goal, and that 1 goal was that they need to be in the game in the last 5 minutes. Well, you look at the clock, we're at 3:58, and they are certainly in this game, fellas.
Absolutely. Great point, Jenny. Tyson Helton and the Hilltoppers were 1-4 when they lost that October 9th game to UTSA. And here are the 2 box scores, so to speak, from both games. How crazy is that? McCormick, they're going to have to corral him. And they do, but not before he picks up 4 yards.
That was a nice gain there on 1st down. Very notable is that Western Kentucky has 3 timeouts. UTSA only has 1, so that gives the Hilltoppers some options with clock management. But the ball is in the hands of UTSA. The Roadrunners can win a championship on the field with their offense. It's going to be up to the Hilltoppers to get this football back, to put it in the hands of Bailey Zappe. But if you want to win a championship, you got to do it at the line of scrimmage. But at some point, Frank Harris is going to have to make a play to keep this drive going.
And a little more attention to the play clock before the snap. It's down to 2. McCormick tries the left side, 2 more yards, 3rd down, and a long 4.
Western smartly holding on to their timeouts. They've got plenty of time if they can get this stop here, and if they don't, they're going to need them on the fresh set of downs.
McCormick closing in on 200 yards. He's at 194.
I don't know if I'd like necessary just a regular called run. Maybe get Harris outside the pocket with some options.
Somebody jumped. Free play. Harris takes a shot down the sideline, and it's incomplete. And that's a disaster for Western Kentucky. That is going to be a 1st down on the penalty if it is offsides.
Offside. Defense, number 2. In the neutral zone at the snap. That 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
It's A.J. Brathwaite, and such a great playmaker on the outside. Had him up near the line of scrimmage. He's just right there. And he wasn't the only one that moved. There was a defensive lineman that went. He didn't enter the neutral zone. But now you got to start thinking about using your timeouts. That was a costly penalty. 2:26 left. UTSA is a touchdown, or excuse me, a 1st down away from ending this ball game. Western Kentucky needs some success here on 1st down.
Spread him out to run it. McCormick straight ahead, and he's got a sizable gain, and he ain't stopping. Look at this push. They mark him back at the 44, but that's an 8-yard carry, and I mean carry.
We've seen the power from his legs all night long. Western burns their 1st timeout smartly, but it makes this conversion, this ever so important conversion, all the more easy. Just great job blocking up front. That defensive front 7 of Western not knowing where the ball's at. Everybody's looking around, and number 3, all he's doing is driving his legs. That's want to. That's how you win championships, Rich.
.215 left. It is a 2nd and a long 1. Sincere McCormick. Frank Harris is the guy that runs the show, but McCormick is such a valuable piece. Averages over 100 a game. Last 2 years, he's run for almost 3,000 yards. Tonight he's gone for 205.
And what was amazing, Rich, and sorry to cut you off there, buddy, the fact that he had been held to under 100 yards in the last 3 games. He hadn't gotten 100 after having this incredible year that he's had. He had hit a slump. But tonight, when his team has needed him most, he has risen to the occasion.
Just need a yard. Ooh, movement. And that's going to be Jalen Galmore.
Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Jalen Galmore playing for Mekhi Hart. Costly penalty. Now he's going to come off the field. They moved and stemmed. UTSA was motioning their tight ends from the left side to the right, and that got the defense to move. Galmore moved off the defensive line's movement.
Boy, does that change things now.
Yes, it does.
2nd down and 6. 2 more timeouts left for Western Kentucky. Harris is going to keep it, trying to get to the edge, and Harris has the 1st down and more. Flags down, midfield flag.
That might be a face mask. Western is indicating that they thought there was a penalty on UTSA.
If so, it'll still be 2nd down, but it's going to bring it way back.
Holding. Offense, number 2. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, 2nd down.
Joshua Cephas, we've been complimenting. Keep an eye right here. We've been talking about the job that the receivers are doing. I don't know how much of a hold that was by Cephas. He did have that left arm in there across his body, and that may have been what did it. now that I've seen that at the end. But UTSA's receivers, we've been complimenting them all night about the great job they've been doing, but number 2 did too good of a job there on that last play. And now UTSA, that had all the momentum, has had penalties on back-to-back plays.
This essentially brings it back to the original line of scrimmage, and it's still second down.
Got to execute in these moments. Both of these teams, do your job. Don't panic. Be relaxed. Landmarks, and now.
Well, the clock was restarted, and so Western Kentucky has to use their second timeout.
Timeout, WKU. That is their second. Please reset the game clock to 2:05. Thank you.
Old Trapper Beef Jerky, player of the game. Sincerely, McCormick.
Well, it's been him all night, Rich. 34 carries. They leaned on this young man all night long, and boy, did he deliver. 3 touchdowns, 200-plus yards, 34 carries, big plays, but he's been magnificent, in my opinion, and the biggest difference has been in the short yardage or goal line situations.
Second down and 7. You noted that early in the game, the yardage on the ground was coming outside the tackle box on the perimeter. And UTSA has turned to Sincere McCormick kind of between the tackles in the second half.
And it's been working. The third quarter was dominated by Western Kentucky up front. Their front 7, Maurice Crum, their defensive coordinator, being aggressive and taking advantage of it, but it's almost like we went to a time warp because now we're second down and 7, basically the same line of scrimmage.
McCormick bounces outside and he's stopped. This is going to be a timeout and a third down and about 5.
Well, that was a huge stop by Western Kentucky there. And now if they can get another one, they give themselves a chance. Great finish there by Demetrius Kane, the linebacker. We've seen McCormick bounce outside a couple times. Dominique Bradshaw was there as well. But, Rich, there's no other way to say this. We started this game talking about with a championship being at stake. This game comes down to this next play. If UTSA can get a first down here, it's game over. And if Western Kentucky can stop them from getting 5 yards, they give themselves a chance.
You saw Bailey Zappi warming up. He's thrown for 541 yards and 4 touchdowns.
And there's also a little caveat here too, buddy. UTSA, 4-down territory. We talked about Jeff Traylor being aggressive. You've got 2 opportunities, 2 plays to go 5 yards to earn your school's first championship.
He did that in the win on October 9th 3 times. And he made it every time and won that game. Third down 5.
Interesting. Frank Harris under center here.
McCormick strung out and dropped. They're not going to get it, and it's 4th down and about 7. Time will come off the clock as the play clock starts.
So that means Western Kentucky's going to get the ball back with a minute. I don't like that play call. That was too tricky for them trying to manufacture some yards. They did have some success with those sort of plays earlier on in the game, but Western was ready for it this time. And now the Roadrunners are forced to put the football back into the hands of the most productive college football player we've seen at quarterback in 2021.
Jareth Stearns is deep. Lucas Dean to punt. And he gets a gorgeous punt.
Wow.
Although it's wide and it's going to go out of bounds. Man, he got his leg into it, but he pushed it wide. They're going to mark it at the 22-yard line. He already has set a Conference USA championship game record with 541 yards. He's got 4 touchdowns. If anybody and any team was built for this, it's Western Kentucky. No timeouts. They need 8.
You're UTSA, you got to get to the quarterback with pressure. And if you're Western Kentucky, you have to play clean. Catch the football, no sacks.
4-man rush. Zappi fires, dive, no catch. Jareth Stearns, good coverage. Trevor Harmonson on that coverage.
Because that was a short route, Rich, that's one of those situations where you're okay that Stearns dropped the football because it preserves time, which is much more precious than 6 yards is right now.
Second down 10. Zappi, shovel pass. Dawood Davis. That's not going to stop the clock. It's short of the first down. It's 3rd down and about 4.
There's an injury.
And it's UTSA who has the injury.
Corey Mayfield went down hard, looked to be in tremendous pain right there after making that tackle, doing a great job of keeping Dawood Davis in bounds.
Aaron, we've seen on these few plays here on this drive, short stuff. And short stuff is great. It's kind of what the offense is built on. They're
There's
going
an
to need
injury to a member of the defense with the clock running under a minute. That qualifies for a 10-second runoff. Western Kentucky has elected to forego the 10-second runoff, so therefore the clock will start on the snap.
Well, that makes sense. But they're going to need some chunks here rather than the 5 and 7 yards.
Sometimes as a play caller, you set yourself up for the next play and what you want to have happen next. Really hard to see what happened to Mayfield there. But we just showed the touchdown right before this on the previous drive was them baiting the safety, and now UTSA has 3 safeties deep. They want to keep everything inside and in front. This is where you have to get home as a pass rusher, and you have to protect up front.
Zappi steps to the pocket. He's hit and dropped and sacked. And he's got to get back up. The clock is going to run down, and it's 4th down. Ball game right here.
Clarence Hicks with the play of the game thus far.
Zappi looking, throws, it's caught. That's Cofield. He's got the first down. They're still alive. Clock stops. Chains move. 22 seconds left.
Are they going to run a play or are they going to clock it? The play will start on the windup after the first down.
Clock's rolling.
They're pushing it.
Another throw dropped. Mitchell Tinsley at the 45. That would have been a first down. 14 seconds left.
Any way you slice this up, Western Kentucky has about 3 plays left. We've seen drops all night long. Tinsley could have caught that one. It was a little bit outside his outstretched hands. But I think this allows them to catch their breath a little bit because that wasn't a very deep pass. Again, pass rush is at a premium, and you have to protect to let Bailey Zappi give you a chance to win it.
He has good arm strength. Short throw. Cofield again. I don't know that he got the first down. It's close. He got it by inches.
This is where you have to spike it. Or are they going to go, or are they going to continue to push?
Oh, there's a player down. Are they going to put time back on the clock? I guess is the next question. Wiley is down.
Two defensive backs. Wiley's
Injury
a linebacker.
timeout. Please reset the game clock to 7 seconds.
It's a break. They were not
No.
set to spike it.
No, they weren't.
He was not over-centered, which is what you want. He just dropped. And, you know, maybe he's thinking that would slow him down. But I think that's a boost to Western Kentucky because it puts time back on the clock, gives them a chance to set their offense and think about a play.
It gives them a timeout. Now, the clock will start on the whistle, but it gives them a timeout in the sense, Rich, that they can talk about what their strategy is here.
Well, UTSA has got 5 inside the 20 to guard against a Hail Mary.
I think you give yourself a quick game.
UTSA calls the timeout.
It's going to be difficult here, Rich, but if you're Western Kentucky with 7 seconds, it is possible to run 2 plays. The first one has to be very quick. You don't want to try to throw a Hail Mary because it's a low percentage pass, but if you can pick up 15 or 20 quick yards and get yourself out of bounds, now you can dial up your best plays to score a touchdown from the 20 to 25 yard line, and we've seen them do that all night long. This isn't a layup for UTSA. They've got to play good defense, and if Western Kentucky is strategic, they're going to try to pick up half of this, get out of bounds quickly if they're allowed to, and then take a shot with no time left to get a touchdown.
I think you absolutely have to get out of bounds. I don't know that if you're over the middle, you can get up and there'd be enough time to spike it. Let's see. Zappe, blitz comes. Zappe escapes. Gonna fire a wobbler that is incomplete. 1 second when it landed. I think there's 1 second left. UTSA is all over the field right now, and the officials are trying to get them off of it.
The previous play is under further video review to see if there's any time left on the clock. Please clear the playing field.
Take a look. The clocks are there at the bottom of your screen. Pressure again. Zappe gets hit by his own player. Defensive lineman was engaged with an offensive lineman. That offensive lineman hit Zappe as he was throwing the ball, and that's why it died. But there is clearly 1 second on the clock when that ball hit the ground. Western Kentucky's going to get another shot at this thing.
And I think they already dumped the Gatorade on Jeff Traylor, who has to regroup, put the headset back on. Clearly the ball was down.
After video review, there was 1 second left on the clock when the ball hit the ground for the incomplete pass. Please put 1 second on the clock, and the clock will start on the snap. It'll be second down.
The first challenge is giving Zappe a clear path to get some momentum to get it to the end zone.
This is it, Rich.
Zappe, 5-man rush. It's a blitz. Zappe's going to throw high towards the end zone, and it is intercepted. UTSA champions for the very first time in Conference USA. It was quite a ride for Bailey Zappe and Western Kentucky. But the Roadrunners, just an incredible race to 11 wins. They lost last week. They weren't really all that spunky this week. It was a tough week for them to get through what happened last week at North Texas. But man, they came out here, built a big lead, and held on to the very end.
Rich, I don't know if this win happens for UTSA tonight without this incredible fan base. Crowd noise was a factor all night long. It gave them juice. And when it mattered most, Jamal Sam with the game-sealing interception, and Jeff Traylor doused for the second time this evening, but this time it counted. UTSA was at its best when its best was needed, and they are champions as a result.
That man's going to a bowl game. He's going to the Senior Bowl, and many think he'll get a shot at the next level.
He's such a smart football player, Rich. He diagnoses things so well. He's like having a coach on the field. He reminds me a little bit of Kellen Moore in that respect. Doesn't have the strongest of arms, but maybe he's a guy that can get you through a game if your starter goes down and makes good decisions and can operate the offense taking limited snaps.
He threw for 577, and those two mistakes at the start of the third quarter, the muff punt and then Zappi's lone interception, or actually his first interception. The game ended on his second. Those two mistakes, Western Kentucky is going to look back at that sequence and kick themselves.
There was also the bad snap, the dropped touchdown. There were multiple opportunities in this game, multiple drops throughout the game by various players. Any of those has the opportunity to alter the outcome of this game. But when you're playing championship football, and there's a lifetime of memories at stake, you have to find a way to make those plays.
41,000 were here tonight. I mean, that's amazing. This place was absolutely electric.
And we felt it coming in, listening to all the different music, and it was everything from hip-hop to mariachi music to country western music. These fans were out en masse, and there was a special feeling walking into this building tonight that we saw unfold and that you guys are watching right now in the middle of your TV screens.
UTSA champions. For Aaron Taylor, Jenny Dell, our entire CBS crew, I'm Rich Waltz. This is a presentation of CBS Sports Network, 24-hour home of CBS Sports. We're back shortly here in San Antonio with the trophy ceremony. We'll take you back to New York for Inside College Football. Brent Stover, Houston Nutt, Kevin Carter, Danny Cannell standing by.
Welcome to Inside College Football, presented by Trico Wiper Blades. Tremendous job, Rich, Aaron, Jenny. What a game. Rich said it throughout the game. First half, are you not entertained? I mean, what a way to kick off championship weekend across college football and here on CBS Sports Network. Valiant effort by Bailey Zappi and company. They come up short 49-41, Kevin.
Gutsy performance by Bailey Zappi in this offense. 577 yards passing. Coached the two receivers that we highlighted before the game, Jared Stearns and Mitchell Tinsley. Each have over 170 yards in this game, 2 touchdowns apiece. But at the end of the day, it came down to who controlled the line of scrimmage. I've been saying this all year. I say this all the time. In order to win at this time of the year, you have to control the line of scrimmage and run the football. Sincere McCormick, he did just that for you.
Over 200 yards. Coach?
Coach Traylor, Barry Lunny, and staff, what a great job they've done. I want to go back to Larry Coker. 11 seasons ago. They're an 11-season-old team, and he's done a great job of setting the foundation. But this staff, the way they put this thing together, what a run. Remember, they got beat by North Texas. Refocus, play a great team. You mentioned Bailey Zappi. There's a reason why he's going to the Senior Bowl, guys. He could throw the football.
Yeah, Jeff Traylor cut his teeth in the state of Texas, and high school football has built up this program from where Larry Coker started it. Now you see them having this historic win. What an amazing victory for them. And you heard the broadcast mention it all night long. How about the scene there for the home crowd supporting their home team? We could hear the crowd noise. It was impacting the pass rush. That's why they were able to get to Bailey Zappi. So what a performance for the Roadrunners. Phenomenal.
Zappi 577, 4 touchdowns. He's now 4 away from tying Joe Burrow's single-season touchdowns record from 2019. 5 would give him the record all by himself, and he's got a bowl game to do that. We talked a lot about Zappi, but Frank Harris just so steady on the other side. You mentioned McCormick. I mean, really both teams going up and down the field. Early on, it had such an interesting feel to it that we were just going to see a track meet going back and forth. By early in the third quarter, Coach, UTSA had built a huge lead, 41-13. You credit Western Kentucky for coming back, but then even more credit to the Roadrunners. In the end, they did exactly what they had to do.
No question about it. And it goes back to what Kevin's been talking about, that physicality, that toughness. Sincere McCormick, we said the ball game's going to go through him. It did. That's 204 yards of tough running, and he's the best 5-yard carrier. He can make people miss 1 or 2 yards. He gets 5 yards.
49-41, Conference USA champs, the 12-1 Roadrunners of UTSA. Fresh 30-minute edition of Inside College Football with a wrap-up of this one, trophy presentation, highlights of the Pac-12 title game, and previews of everything to come tomorrow is next. What a scene inside the Alamo Dome. We send it back down to Texas. It's the trophy presentation and the announcement of the MVP of the Conference USA title game with Jenny Dell. Jenny, take it away.
All right. Thank you so much, Brent. We're here celebrating the 2021 Conference USA champions, UTSA. What do you think, San Antonio? All right, before we talk to your champs, we have a special message. Please turn your attention to the video boards.
Hello, I'm Tony Birdwell, Senior Vice President and Chief People Officer for Ryan. Unfortunately, I can't be with you on the field there today, but I do want to commend Coach Traylor and his UTSA Roadrunners on a tremendous 2021 Ryan Conference USA Championship game. In just a few moments, we're going to go down to the field for the trophy presentation. Again, congratulations to the student athletes, coaches, staff, and administrators, and of course, the Roadrunner fans all over the country. Congratulations again on a tremendous 2021 Ryan Conference USA win.
All right, it is now my pleasure to introduce the Commissioner of Conference USA, Judy McLeod. Judy, I think we have some hardware to give out. First up, we're going to go to the winning coach of the 2021 Conference USA Championship, Coach Jeff Traylor. All right, Coach, I know it's loud in here, but what a year, what a season it has been. When it's all said and done, what is the most important thing you can take away from this year?
We did it for the city of San Antonio, right? That's what it's about. The 2-1-0, baby. The 2-1-0. It's about our kids. I've been with them 2 years now, and their belief in our culture, the 2-1-0 triangle of toughness culture. And a lot of people took shots at us last week for triangle not showing up, but we know the triangle showed up tonight, big boy.
Your first conference championship, you've had the best season of UTSA that has ever existed. Who do you thank for that?
It's always the players. It's a players' game. Coaches get way too much credit, way too much blame. It starts those single-digit guys, 0 through 9, especially our 2-1-0 guys. And our president and our athletic director and our boosters are extremely, extremely supportive, and they give us what we need to be successful.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank
Congratulations.
You. God bless.
All right, it is now time to have a little chat with our MVP, Sincere McCormick. Judy, would you like to hand him the trophy? Sincere, we all know that you would not be in this position without this entire team that's behind you. What does this MVP honor mean to you?
First, I want to thank God. I want to thank my mom. I want to thank my coaches. I want to thank my boys. Hey, this one's for San Antonio. Hey, this one's for San Antonio, though. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for every moment. We've been working hard, and I'm grateful for every moment with these boys.
When you look back on this 2021 season, what are you going to remember the most?
This trophy. I'm remembering this trophy, though. But I'm remembering the times that we had, you know, the triangle moves, the hard work and dedication that we put in, day out. And, you know, like I said, this one for the city.
Let's hear it one more time for your 2021 Conference USA champions, UTSA. What a season, fellas. All right, San Antonio, let's hear it one more time. You can get a little louder than that.
2-1-0.
All right, guys, back to you in the studio. Congratulations to your champs.
Jenny, well done. We said it. That is a heck of a scene, Danny. They're going to party long into the night there in San Antonio.
There's no better feeling than celebrating at the end of a season. You put it to bed, you hold up the trophy, you know a ring is coming, and now you get to wait and sit and see what bowl you're going to. No better feeling than this.
You know what? When you can go out and make a memory on a special day like this, both these teams have nothing to be ashamed of. They have everything to be proud of. They've had great years, but being able to hold that trophy up after this game as a champion really puts an accent and puts an exclamation mark and just in your memory. I mean, when you have your look back, when you look back on this time in your life, it was the greatest time in your life for so many reasons. For these UTSA Roadrunners, they'll have an extra special memory on this day.
No question about it. What about the 41,000 fans that are there? The city of San Antonio. Well, they've embraced this team, and y'all said it. There's nothing like this celebrated time. They'll never forget it because it's the best days of your life. These are the best days, the funnest times. There's nothing like winning. And now for coaches, get on the phone. Get on the phone and start recruiting. Go get number 3 again.
I tell you what, it's going to be nice to recruit after a 12-1 season. To this point with a bowl game to come, most likely, not for sure, but most likely in 2 weeks, December 18th, the New Orleans Bowl, but that is not for certain. But they're going to have a lot of fun and the opportunity to finish 13-1. Conference USA champs, the Roadrunners of Texas San Antonio. Full highlights of this game and plenty more to come. Championship weekend is underway. Stay with us.